Do? That's right. I'm the only one here, basically. Do. The only one that doesn't echo when I speak over this. Which is weird, because I'm not the host. I guess Scott's like, oh, Mad, he's not good enough for Saturday. He's a Wednesday host. Get out of here. Come on. Ridiculous. By the way, if you didn't see Street Smarts today, we had a fantastic episode where we watched a bananas movie. It wasn't about bananas. It was about robots that were cops, but not like RoboCop. It wasn't RoboCop. Man, I just watched the movie and I cannot describe what it is. It was so crazy. Anyway, yeah, still good to me. Hanging out. Chilling. Oh, I just finished that old dirty, what was it? That dirty black bag on AMC. It's a spaghetti western kind of a thing with like some like horror beats to it or whatever. It was interesting. They did a lot of things they didn't bother explaining. And
are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Can we start the show now?
I mean, you're the host.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. Hi. Hey everybody.
I'm in the wrong spot.
Oh, I'll fix it. Hang on.
Don't do that. You're the host.
I don't feel very hosty. Our hostess, host
yeah.
like. Host.
So is Scott just not doing anything on his channel himself? Has he like, just given us like it feels like we work for him?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
Anyway.
It's okay. Hi everybody. Those of you that are in the chat, we are glad that you're here.
What's Gucci, my ninjas?
No, that's your channel thing, dude.
I did on Litz too. I did everywhere
Saturday.
now.
It is Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Saturday.
There you go.
That wasn't John
Elton John.
John
Elton.
Yeah.
Who's John Elton? That sounds great.
Hey, I have verbal dyslexia.
Diarrhea.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, verbal diarrhea. Yeah, I'm familiar. We got Gap After Dark is hanging out with us.
Dyslexia. That's it. Sorry, dyslexia. Dyslexia.
Dyslexia. Dr. Dragon's here. We got Sax in the house.
Yeah, this may be our best start.
Kenneth LaRoque. Anyway, good to see you, Kenny. We had Sonora Baptiste in the house.
Ooh, boy. I usually can skip the ones I can't pronounce.
Amy Harboned in Pages. Greetings.
Harbored in Pages, not Harboned.
Oh. How did I put an N in there?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Amy. I didn't mean to do that.
Hard-boned?
Apparently, apparently the dyslexia is spreading. Yeah, Keith Howard is here. Good to see you, buddy. Got our good friend Jin Wong here. What is up, my man? We got Boosh McFadden in the house.
Hey, Boosh.
Who else is here? Lots of great humans. We have great humans joining us. Brent Sanders is here. Good to see you.
By the way, Chad, let's not describe what we're eating in reference with a dump. Like, ooh, this is gonna be a good dump. I could say, like, that's weird.
Look, I just had a delicious steak.
Oh, okay.
And with some mushrooms and onions, and what are those?
And you cleaned up after yourself, right?
This is the problem with having people backstage when you're eating. No, the boss came in here and took my plate.
But you're capable of doing it, right?
I did. That's actually the conversation. The backstage conversation was actually had. That was very much that. And look, thank goodness. Oh my gosh.
I had faith you were gonna. What?
Wait, no, wait. I'm sorry, man. I'll fix it. There. Okay. There. Feel better. Okay. Hi, Jane.
Hello.
How you doing? You had a stream this morning, and Matt actually admitted to watching it.
I actually ended
did.
up. I watched the whole thing. I don't know if you know this, Jane, but I rarely watch anything that I'm not on. You know. But yeah, I ended up watching the whole thing.
He was there.
It was great. Oh, somebody kind of got into it at the end with one of your chatters.
Oh no.
Oh, wait, before we get going, I got to ask you this, Jane, cuz all right, so Jane was showing the video of the Lord of the Rings with the hopping on the sword.
Yeah.
And I made a joke that historically like they use swords to get over formations. A sword paline, like a trampoline but a sword, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that wasn't real, right? Like they didn't really do that.
I have no idea. Okay.
Because
That
your
was
response, you were like, that's interesting. And then somebody in your chat's like, I'd like to see the historical facts behind your thesis. I'm like, oh boy.
There's some very smart people there. They're very academic.
Yeah. People want citation of sources.
Of the sword paline.
The sword paline. Everybody just held out their sword and they threw the guy over the.
Yeah. So what I was thinking was Vikings, because they would have the shield wall, and then they would have to find a way to get around. Like they would pick people up with like bows and arrows, like you know what I mean? And they would shoot up, and then.
So they would literally hoist them on like petards. Is what you're saying?
No, I think they would lift them up with the legs, and then like they would try to drag people into their inside, and then have like people there to attack them. That weren't part of the shield wall.
Yeah, usually the ladies are the ones finishing. What? Anyway, Captain Flintlock is out there. Good to see you. I think I said hi to Katina Martin. I did. We've got lots of folks in the chat. Thanks for being here. This show's off to a roaring start. Tim is here. What's up?
You're
Tim?
Welcome.
John Platt's here. What's up, John Platt? Good to see you. Hardbone sounds fun though. Thank you, Amy. I got Nick McCabe out there. Brian McCann is here. Good to see you, buddy. So many great folks. You guys, I love how you support Scott when he doesn't run his channel anymore. I haven't seen Scott in a while. Have you seen Scott? Has anybody seen Scott? He does this weird Monday show with like Grant where they talk about like tinfoil stuff.
Yeah, I got banned from that show.
How do you get banned from a show?
Apparently, people were complaining that I would get us off track from, because I just talk about whatever, like, and so other things came up. Like, oh man, we came here for conspiracies and aliens and shit. Mad's over here talking about whatever.
So you're like, and this is why the Titanic sunk.
I don't remember.
Soulless Assassin's in the house. What's up, buddy?
That's Chatimal.
That's the Chatimal. That's right. And I think I said hi to John Platt. So nothing better than a good steak and then the dump. Indeed. Like I said, it was delicious.
I don't like this. I don't like toilet humor.
Okay. There was no toilet humor there.
Yeah,
Eric Hayes in the house, the master of mod, the mensch of wrenches, and a person that's going to get a tin of freshly baked chocolate chip cookies in Las Vegas. So there you
go. What?
Yeah. The boss is going to make a tin of freshly baked chocolate chip cookies. There's one for Eric.
Oh, okay.
And there's one for George.
Oh. Who is late?
Oh yeah.
Speaking of late, there's Tom.
Why are we only have half the McCabes here right now, I think.
One too many, if you ask me.
E for C, fatal dose that too. What?
Speaking of fatal dose, you got a $5 super chat from
$5 foot long. By the way, there's no such thing. Riff, I have not seen this human being in quite some time with a $5 Australian super chat or $5 Australian super chat. How do you say that? $5 Australian? Five.
Oh, is that Australian?
$5 dollars?
5 Aussies?
5 Aussie monies?
Yeah.
5 Aussie monies. Anyway, so at Jane, can we look forward to the Rings of Woke review from UNS? Yes, you can. Right, Jane?
Probably. We'll see.
Yeah. Featuring special guest Matt.
We'll see.
At Culture, I'm loving Grizzly Adams' beard. Respect. Unfortunately, as of Sunday, tomorrow, after all of my shows, before I rise on Monday morning, I have to shave these parts of my face, so I will have a goatee on Monday morning.
I'm trying to count to make sure that he gets didn't mention anything about me because he ran out of characters.
Oh, he did. He ran out of characters.
Okay.
He couldn't even. He
I'm
would not.
counting.
It would have been at mad, and then it would have been no substance. So
Yeah.
But it's so great to see you, Riff, man. I miss you. Oh, look, it's Midnight's Edge After Dark saying, I'm not going to Vegas. I'm going to say, dude, we're going to have to do this again. I'm going to be calling you saying, I'm going to send you a plane ticket. And then you're going to fight with me for 2 hours. And then you're going to be like, I'm not coming. You guys suck. Yeah. Special cookies. There you go. I love all you people.
Special cookies.
Yeah. Oh, she makes the best chocolate chip cookies. Oh. Nestle Toulouse.
Do you wrap it in bacon?
No, dude. Have you ever had chocolate dipped?
I'm not doing this with you tonight. I'm not
Chocolate
doing
dipped
this.
bacon?
Chocolate dipped peppered bacon. You should try it. It is the most delicious thing you've
I
ever.
don't know that I want to mix those two.
Oh, you do. I promise you.
Is this like pineapple and pizza?
No. This no. That's no.
Jane, it's the only thing he knows how to make, and I swear, at least once a month he brings up, oh yeah, chocolate dipped bacon is so good.
No. Bacon, okay, bacon and prosciutto wrapped asparagus.
Cool. Like that doesn't bother me. The chocolate bacon is bacon. Like it's great on its own. You don't have to add chocolate to it.
Yeah, it's the chocolate part.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Stephen Kelly, wow, a calm voice discussion. I'm so used to FNT as and Geeks and Gamers. Reasonable, calm voices seem weird to me. Well, it does come to a screeching halt in that way. That's true. Oh, wait. Talk about the Game of Thrones crap, and I'll be there in a little bit. Okay, that's where we'll start. Thanks, Tom. Tom is actually the background producer. So we're listening to Tom today.
What happened? What's going on with the Game of Thrones?
Game of the Rings?
Game of Thrones. Are we gonna? Yeah, we're gonna talk about all the different personalities that dragons have.
I'm not having a huge issue with it right now, unless something has happened.
Eating people or setting people on fire. But see, those are the things I know dragons do.
Well, we read the article about it, and when they're describing, like, oh, and this dragon has a limp, I'm like, that's not personality. That's not a character trait. That's a physical thing.
Look, emotionally unstable amphetamine says chocolate
amphetamine.
Amphetamine.
It can be amphetamine or amphetamine. It's the same thing.
Apparently, Wednesday I mispronounced emotionally unstable.
Amphibian.
Yeah.
You said amphetamine. What's great about emotionally unstable Amphibian is he's awesome and supports me, and that's great. Not only that, this obviously is Tina Bojan, who is telling you all this is quality content that you're observing right now.
Chocolate covered candied bacon.
Yeah. See, and look, bacon and chocolate, a little heat of the peppers. It's the perfect polyamory. Indeed.
The perfect
polyamory.
Oh, I'm thinking polyamorous relationships. I'm like, I don't know.
Paranomia?
No, polyamorous. Polyamorous? Yeah, like we're like, you're like, oh, like we didn't have labels. Everything? No, not me. No, this is just the term.
Oh.
No.
No?
She has knives, yeah.
You're not living La Vida Loca?
No. She has knives.
Oh, not that she knows of?
She has this knife that is a zombie. She got it before we met, but like it's a zombie made. It's a knife made for the zombie apocalypse.
Right.
It's so big and awkward. Like, and I was talking about it Wednesday, and she snuck up on me with the holding knife like this in the middle of the stream. Scared the shit out of me.
What stream was this?
It was the dump on Wednesday.
Oh wow,
man! A lot of great things happen on Wednesdays.
There's a Wednesday dump.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, it's the Mad Dump that you host.
Yes.
On yeah.
We talked about pigs breathing through their anus for like an hour.
We got a $5 super chat from 16-bit mascot.
Yes.
Says hail Sporking, who is not here on his own show or something. Oh, and hail Jane, Mad, and Culture. Love you all, guys. Real. Thank you very much.
Thank you for including me.
Yeah. That stuff's illegal culture. Bacon and chocolate, it is not. Polymatterous. Thank you, Keck.
Only matters.
Yeah. We might get a brief appearance by Spork, but Spork is supposed to be be the fleshy person over on the Cotton Council at some point after this show. So I think
Wait, hold on.
What? Go ahead.
He's not doing his own stream, but he's doing somebody else's.
Yeah.
Why are we here? Let's shut this thing down.
No, I'm having a good time. So culture looks like, thanks, B-Spin, Garrett Bobby Ferguson from the regular show. Oh, I love you people. What do you mean, you people? Speaking of which, all right, let's do this. Let's get into this. Spencer Bakuli is a writer for this publication online called Bounding into Comics.
Mm-hmm.
I like Spencer.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a cool kid. I like him a lot. And so I'm going to share with you a Spencer Bakuli article that was going to dive deeply into something I want Jane to talk about.
Goodness.
This is going to make me very happy. Oh, shoot. Mark's in the back. Mark, how long have you been in the back?
Easily about 20, 25 minutes.
Okay.
I'm not feeling the love right now.
Can you feel the...
I started at the number one spot.
You can do it.
I should say, though, I did hear you talking about like bacon and shit. You know that's the closest you will come to eating actual human flesh, right? The flesh of the swine. You do know this, right?
Yeah.
Do you not like bacon, Mark?
No.
You don't like bacon?
I got it.
Why?
I don't think
Huh?
I don't think you should be telling people that humans taste like bacon, because that's the closest I've been tempted to eating a person. You're like, oh, it tastes like bacon. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's not helpful.
Mark.
So if you're ever in a bad way, you know what I mean, and I don't know, you're stranded in the mountains somewhere and you're missing that one of a kind taste, and go on and look at your neighbor and maybe
I saw live.
Eat
maybe
your
you can work something out.
neighbor. Go ahead and eat a friend.
The girlfriend and I talk about this way too much, about eating people in a survival situation. But yeah, I mean, it comes up. Like, you start with the butt. What? You start with the butt. That's what they did in Alive. Y'all haven't seen Alive?
That was a crazy movie. And yes, they did start with the ass. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Every time.
I'm going to eat people now, says Tom. That's not good.
What's up to everybody in the chat? Hello.
Normally, the Saturday Dump is known for its intellectual prowess and high-tier quality production and conversation, and we're knocking it out of the box.
What? No, speaking of quality, like, we had an idea for a cookbook called The Donners, If I Ate Them.
Oh, wow. Is he teaming up with OJ Simpson? Gracious. That joke wrote itself. All right. You guys ready for the story? Because this I want to hear Mark's perspective here.
You eat that ass. Boost
in the chat.
Oh, that's funny. You're not gonna read it?
No,
it's Scott's channel.
It's a good thing. It's a really good thing that Jane is here, because we could really take this in some bad, disturbing places. But we're not going to do that.
I'm going to be really good.
Yeah.
Jules didn't like bacon. That's true. Thanks, Peaceful. That's true. Oh, Brian McCann says long pork on a menu is not hog. It's people. Philippines, it's legal to serve people as food. Oh,
what?
No.
So that's how it is in the Philippines, huh?
Man, those Philippines are crazy. Is that how you pronounce it now? Philippines? By the way, I had a roommate that was a Filipinian.
You know what? This is going in a bad way fast. Let's get to the story. We have the
highlighted it.
Things director Peter Jackson reveals Amazon asked for his help on The Rings of Power, but then ignored him. They said they'd send over scripts, and they never showed up.
Shocker.
Doesn't sound good. So I think Nazanin Bondiani is a smoking hot chick. And she's a decent actress. I don't like her recent comments. Of course, that's completely unrelated to this, but I am very offended for Peter Jackson. I am going to ask Jane to read this because she has the voice of an angel.
Okay. Where do you want me to start? Right here?
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies.
The Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies director Peter Jackson has revealed that Amazon did at one point ask for his expertise on adapting J.R.R. Tolkien's classic work with the Rings of Power, but eventually chose to go in a different direction and failed to tell him they were doing so.
Wow.
Your AC just came on.
Respectful.
Yeah. Damn it.
It's
I was
fine.
hoping
You're
it wouldn't
fine.
be.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, is that your AC? I thought it was Jane's.
No. Jackson revealed the backstory of his involvement with Amazon's upcoming series in a pair of recent podcast appearances.
Man,
First appearing on the Hollywood Reporter's Awards Chatter podcast, Jackson told host Scott Feinberg that Amazon asked me if I wanted to be involved. Writer-producer Fran Walsh and I said, yeah. Well, no, hold on. And I said, that's an impossible question to answer without seeing a script. So they said, as soon as we get the first couple scripts, we will send them to you, he detailed. And the scripts never showed up. That's the last thing I heard, which is fine. No complaints at all.
But I am going to throw this shade on my way out.
Yeah. Later, joining THR writer Kim Masters on her The Business podcast, Jackson reiterated, about 4 or 5 years ago, they asked if I would be interested in it. So I said, have you got the script yet? Because I know how hard the scripts were to write for films, and I didn't know the people writing their scripts, the director explained. Whoa. They said, oh no, we haven't got the scripts yet, but as soon as we do, we'll send you the scripts. So I was waiting for the scripts to arrive, and they never did.
Hey, look, it's Eminem.
Maybe they hadn't finished them yet.
Yeah, yet, despite the ghosting by Amazon, Jackson said he would still be watching The Rings of Power. I'm not the sort of guy who wishes ill will, he said. Filmmaking is hard enough. If somebody makes a good film or TV show, it's something to celebrate. The one thing I'm looking forward to is actually seeing it as a perfectly neutral viewer.
Hey, you know what? That's a fair commentary, right?
It is.
That was pretty stand up of him to say. So.
Jackson's recent recollections notably line up with an interview he gave to the Metro in 2018, wherein he noted that I don't have thoughts on it because I haven't seen anything. Wow. I wish them all the best, and if we can help them, we certainly will try, he said. It's a big task.
That's right.
And they hired people with a minimal amount of
no
experience.
No.
In response to Jackson's claims, an Amazon Studios spokesperson told THR, in pursuing the rights for our show, we were obligated to keep the series distinct and separate from the films. We have the utmost respect for Peter Jackson and the Lord of the Rings films, and are thrilled that he is looking forward to watching The Rings of Power.
That's what he said. I don't think he said he's thrilled.
Yeah, and I also said he also didn't say he necessarily was looking forward. Did he say he was looking forward to them? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I didn't think he said he was looking forward.
I didn't think he said it exactly that way, right? He was looking forward to seeing him as neutral.
However, according to THR sources, this is far from the full story. As in addition to these reasons, Amazon reportedly ceased communication with Jackson under specific direction from the Tolkien estate. I can believe that. As of writing, the specific reasons as to why the estate wanted Jackson far away from the Rings of Power remain unknown. Well, they were upset about his version, his adaptation. I remember that.
Wait, his adaptation?
Yeah, they were very upset with it.
Okay.
Where did they see this?
Yeah, have they seen the character introductions that Entertainment Weekly did? They're cool with this?
Exactly. That's what I didn't understand. They said that he turned it into like too much of an action film or action series.
Yeah, and you know what, Tom, you're right. 25% different. This is the thing we've been talking about for Star Trek for so long.
But see, the problem is that it seems like it wasn't initially going to be an issue because they reached out to him.
Yeah.
So what changed is the question. If it is the estate, then I don't know.
Will the real Sauron please stand up?
Man, by the way, the more I see of the costumes in the sets coming from this show, it's like I immediately think of all those movies that are done in some Soviet Union country, like in the name of the king. Like all those movies, like when, you know, actors are like, oh, I just got a divorce. I really need to make these movies. And they go over there because it's real cheap and they can keep most of the money, you know, from the budget of the film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this looks worse than those. And they are like intentionally skimming money off of the budget. Like they're making it as cheap as possible to save the money.
It's definitely cheap. And it's getting to a point where it doesn't make any sense. Like I'm starting to feel like someone should investigate because it's well below par what you would expect. What they say they spend.
And again, I mean, I assembled today's thumbnail, you know, with images from the thing. Of course, you know, Batgirl's actually not a lady on the horse, but you know, and of course the lady from Prey isn't, you know, in the show. But for the most part, this is what it looks like. And I'm telling you, the blonde folks, do they not remind you of what Targaryens are supposed to look like?
Why is everybody like I don't like, you know, making fun of people the way they look, but like why are they all ugly? Why are there no? And by the way, Lord of the Rings, kind of the same thing.
I mean, they've never gotten, but with Game of Thrones, they've never gotten the Targaryens right, and they do look terrible compared to what they should look like.
And I would have thought, now Jane, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would have thought that the Targaryens would have looked more similar to the elves.
Yes, that's
exactly. They're supposed to be like otherworldly,
a different species entirely, the humanized version of the other
god or whatever.
I mean, to be fair though, they still kind of look because now they have the black elf and the black Targaryens.
And look, I mean, doesn't this look? And I'm going to put this back. I'm going to put this back on the screen. Doesn't that look uncomfortable? I mean, not the Cheeto effect there, but the that armor doesn't look like it. Like I just as a lady, unless you're not rocking anything in the front, I mean, that doesn't seem like it's super comfy.
Well, she may not be. Who knows?
I mean, armor isn't like comfort. You know, it's not pajamas, bro.
I don't know. Yeah. Have you seen the sides of that particular pajama suit that she's wearing? They didn't bother to even like fill out the chainmail. It's a freaking chainmail T-shirt underneath.
The whole thing looks cheap.
Yes.
The crowns look cheap. The armor looks cheap. The dresses, all of it, and that's the least you could have done. That you could have gotten that right if nothing else.
And I'm still pissed about this because that, although that's not supposed to be Sauron. I don't know who this is.
We don't even know.
Yeah. Is that their Gollum replacement? Mark, do you have any insight on any of this?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
There's nothing about this thing that's pulling me in, man. You know what I mean?
Can someone tell me what this dude is and what he's wearing?
That's a tunic.
This is a human. Yeah.
A human wearing a tunic.
Is it one of the Flintstones?
I look, when we would have like, you know, like plays at church or whatever, and you would have like the disciples and they would wear like they were better made than this. You know what I mean? Like, look at this.
All of this stuff looks like something you can get if you go to Walmart and just grab some fabric.
Yeah, it looks like a potato sack.
Eric K hits on both points for $2. Says bacon is God's proof we should not be veggies.
Wow,
nice.
Hit on both points.
I disagree. Oh, shit.
Don't you guys remember the game we played last week? Yeah, it's funny. Oh. The men in the Rings of Power show have man boob armor. Yeah, they do.
That show is just ridiculous at this point.
Tablecloth garb. There you go.
Yes, exactly. Curtains.
It's amazing. That show looks so bad. It makes me excited for House of Dragon. Not excited, like, oh, it's gonna be good, but like, you know,
I mean,
it looks like they tried. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they got the costumes right.
Yeah.
Well, and I keep, you know, and again, I mean, I'm not gonna say this, but
I'm gonna say this.
Oh, Tom's here. Tom's here.
Yeah.
Yay.
Tom's muted.
Someone said barbecue pulled pork is great.
Oh yeah.
You guys are killing me.
What's happening now?
I'm not a big pork
tastes
eater
good. Bacon tastes good.
Bacon though. Yeah.
No, you know what? I blame you guys because whenever, you know, I have to order a pizza or anything like that, I could want I don't know, chicken topping or something, buffalo. And they'll always like try to slip in some bacon, some pork. They always get the order wrong. Like every single time they try to feed me pork, man. Yeah. And I'm just like, enough. Why? Yeah. Why can't people get it through their mind? Not everybody loves this shit, man.
I feel you. Like they always try to sneak onions on mine, and I have an allergy.
Maybe they have a kosher pizza place.
Ooh.
They probably get it wrong there too. I tell you, this has been my experience, man. No matter what.
I hand dress the pizza the way I want it.
Oh,
and when the boss makes it, same thing.
No, I tried. Papa John's, they kicked me out of the kitchen like immediately when I tried to do that.
Okay, I make
Why
your
you
own homemade
kicked
pizza.
out of places, man.
Yeah. He does have a reputation, doesn't he?
You get kicked out.
Yeah.
It happens. Yeah. Happens.
Well, Jane, thank you for reading that with your angelic voice. Look, I don't have, and I wasn't going to have anything positive to say about this show ever. But I'm going to give it a fair shake, and maybe they'll change my mind.
I can't give it a fair shake. I'm gonna go into this from a negative perspective, which I don't do typically. But from what we've seen so far, this is a slap in the face. What they did with Jackson was a slap in the face. What they're doing to the fans, the story, Tolkien. Yeah. So I'm insulted. I'm going to look at it that way. If they change my mind, fine. But I just don't see that happening.
But it is possible to have your mind change. I've had it happen several times. I go in, I'm like, man, this movie's gonna Love and Monsters. I expected nothing but just wokeness out of it. I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. It was so much fun.
That kind of gives us a little segue. Although we might revisit the Lord of the Rings thing, but some of you may have seen Prey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you guys
is in Pray to God? Like, what are we talking about?
Prey,
the new Predator movie on Hulu.
I'm all for religious stuff. I mean, I don't know. Is Kirk Cameron in this?
He should be.
Okay.
All right. Then I might actually watch it.
I watched it, and I'll say this. I was wanting it to be something that I could make content out. I even had pre-recorded lines. I was getting ready for it. It wasn't bad enough for me to make anything good out of it. But it was not just good. It was there was enough distractions to like kind of drag you along through the movie, and it had all the things that the people are just going to go crazy for. Oh, he said the thing. I said this to Jane earlier. I have never seen a more incompetent like Mary Sue and still be a Mary Sue.
Here's the thing, people you got to get over right. There's one good Predator movie. That's it. The only other Predator movie, well, actually Predator 1, but the only other Predator movie that's even close to that is that one they did where they threw everybody on a fucking planet. And that's pretty much the same movie as the first movie. This is kind of like the whole thing with like Alien and Terminator and stuff like that. It's only one or two good movies, and then once you get past that, the idea has kind of gone. And I mean, a lot of people are saying this is a decent film, but at the same time, I just look at it and I'm like, I don't see any interest in it. One of these fuckers could total an entire native tribe in like 10 seconds. Yeah. And this whole idea of, she uses her terrain and her brother's teaching her this, that, and the other. It's like, no, I don't care. This is like, this is like a human coming in and taking out an anthill. This makes no sense. But anyhow, sorry, that's my 2 cents on it.
You're right, Tom. He's supposed to be equipped, the Predator's equipped for all of that. So there is no, it's my terrain, I should know better than it or him or whatever. That's what he's there. He's a predator. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he's ready for all of this stuff. So nah.
And the thing too is like they're trying. It's so weird because they're trying to go with this angle that she basically outsmarts him because she's a prey and not really perceived as a predator. So she uses her intelligence, but
she's not a threat. That's what they kept saying.
But they built her up, her training. She's a hunter. She's like him and all this other stuff. So which is it? Why do we care then that she's supposed to be so strong and great in terms of hunting things?
But she failed. Like she sucked at it. Like, you know what I mean? And
she had everybody killed. Yeah.
Yeah, that and like she couldn't hit him with the hatchet, so she's like, well, let me make a rope, and I'll tie a rope to it. That doesn't help your accuracy. The problem wasn't that you had to go retrieve your tomahawk every time, is that you kept missing.
Yeah.
Your rope doesn't solve that.
Nothing in the show, this film made any sense to me. And the character is completely unlikable.
Yes.
Throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Does that seem to be a theme over at Hulu right now? Unlikable female protagonist.
I think it's a theme in modern media right now. This is they're interpreting strong now. It's not just being physically a Mary Sue. Now being strong means you also have to be a terrible person. And that's where we are. So the women characters, they can't write them, but they're intentionally writing them as these impossibly powerful but completely idiotic people.
So they could have, because it was all there, do like the Mulan setup where she is stepping up, not because she wants to prove it to anyone, to prove to everybody that she's so awesome.
The live action version.
Well, no, not the live action, the cartoon. She did it because like her father couldn't serve. She did it for like
that's what I'm
her
saying.
family.
That's the distinction. This one is live action version.
Exactly, because she does it. Why? Because they told her she can't do it, and so now she's gonna do it. Like why did you choose to make her unlikable from the get? That's one of the first things we hear them say.
And she says this to her mom. She's so disrespectful to her mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, they deviated so much from the live in the live action from the animated film, which made that film Mulan very enjoyable for all ages, and they and then they don't give you the little dragon guy. And,
by the way, Jane, I loved the brother in Prey. I was like, why are we not following him?
He should have been the main
He's a man.
Oh, he tolerated her nonsense to absurd level, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was a badass too. Where were all the men, Jane?
Getting beat up by her?
Well, no, those are all like teenage, like all the.
Oh, you mean the grown men? Dead.
Yeah, the grown men.
Oh, deceased. Yeah, it was like a village run by a bunch of children. It was the most bizarre thing.
Crazy.
Real quick,
I just kept thinking.
Sorry, I didn't mean to keep going, man.
I was just saying, I just kept thinking, where are the grown-ups? Why are they not out here trying to find their children?
Yeah, it's a reasonable question. Crazy. I'm glad I have not seen this film yet. Although, again, from Orville Nation for $5, Orville Nation, what's up, PJ? Says, in my opinion, it's not a bad film for being on Hulu. Kind of enjoyed it. We've had some really bad Predator movies.
That last part there is what I'm getting to, right? Like, people have seen so many of the movies that are bad that they're like, oh, this is not bad. It's like, is it really though? Is it really?
Well,
that's Resident Evil. Take Resident Evil, for example. The Resident Evil films are notoriously bad.
Yeah.
But the Resident Evil movie from a TV show from Netflix, this last one, was absurdly worse than anything they had come up with to date. So it's like a lot of these things are bad, but they're cheesy and fun and enjoyable.
And I can get behind that because
these aren't though. The new
that's the
stuff
thing.
isn't.
And
is
that's
there
my
any nudity in this at all?
Oh, probably not.
No.
There's no nudity.
Full frontal predator. That's it.
Mediocre CGI.
I mean, it could be because these are essentially kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just is an indication to me just how still woke it is when they just won't put in a little bit of gratuitous nudity. You're like Ripley in Aliens, when she just happens to just walk out with the little t-shirt and panties on. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to mean anything. It's just showing that they're not afraid of her femininity, of her sexuality.
Mark,
that's what things like that. Yeah.
She didn't have that much of an ass to show. Come on.
She would have been too young for this.
No. You're right.
No, but it's still young Sigourney Weaver, so we're not going to complain.
Yeah, I don't know how young this chick is. Maybe it would have been inappropriate.
She's 20-something.
The actress is, but I think the character is supposed to be a teenage girl.
I don't know, but her. Oh, by the way, she does beat up few men in some of the most absurd ways. Like
she beat up her entire tribe of guys, and she beat up all of the white guys who were there for whatever reason.
So
that's insane.
I was worried about the white guys, like, oh, great. And then when they started speaking French, I'm like, oh, never mind. They deserve all of it. You know what I mean?
So I have thoughts. because I have heard from people that I think are fairly knowledgeable about film. Andre said, because Andre's seen this, right, Tom? And so did Mr. H. He's muted.
Did you?
Andre didn't watch it.
Oh, Andre didn't watch it. So it was just Mr. H?
Mr. H watched it. He said it was all right. Cameron watched it and was gushing over it.
Okay.
But Cameron loves everything, so.
BC, aka the new Dark Shadow, is counting down to Halloween. Now, I remember when you did this last year, bro, and it kind of freaked me out at first because, you know, it's like, why is he counting down? Because he used to do that in my comment section.
I love
I'm
that.
like, am I going to die on Halloween? He'd
yeah.
always say there's only 5 more days. I'm like, oh no.
Dude,
Yeah, no, I don't care for that at all.
My
Silver
favorite.
Shamrock.
That's it, dude. You just did it. My favorite Halloween movie, not
Halloween 3.
movie. Yeah.
Season of the Witch. Yeah, it's the best one.
Witch, right?
Yeah. And
8 more
everybody
days to
hates on it, right?
Halloween,
This is where Tom and I fight. You know,
It's the
you
best
guys,
one.
you've never seen a hetero life mates fight as much as Tom and I do over dumb stuff like this. So, but 3 more days till Halloween.
Anyway, there's really not a whole lot to say about Prey. Like it.
You get drugged through it.
Yeah.
So, did they have the MC Hammer song in it at any point in time?
Anyway, so yeah, oh man, Jane, when
just to make it today.
when they said the line, like how were you worried your eyes were gonna get stuck in the back of your head from rolling so far? Like the brother.
I didn't care. I mean, nothing about this gave me any emotion other than boredom.
So you guys would not recommend this, in other words.
Go see Predator 2. Predator's a better movie. Predator's a better movie, but Predator 2 is more fun. It is awesome. It's so great.
You guys talking about Prey, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We just finished up basically.
Do you have something to add there, Mr.?
Yeah, no, I think it's a perfect story to show why you need to have a bigger brother to do 99% of the work so you can take the credit. It's the important lesson in it.
I don't know. I just pray we don't get another one.
We're not gonna.
That's the thing. It could have been a good brother sister movie, but
Yeah, he didn't need to die. It was so stupid.
Oh.
yeah.
Well, and I'm going to say it this way: we, it was too expensive for them to do that. And that's the biggest problem that they're having with these things. They're shoving on streaming services, and this is the very thing that Warner Brothers, essentially brought out the other day when they were talking about it. But before we jump into the Warner Brothers conversation, which I think will be big. A long, lengthy conversation because of everything that's going on over there with DC and all of that. I would like to mention to the folks that have joined us that we do have another film that's out in theaters this week, something that I thought was going to be a sleeper hit, but I think I was wrong. I was wrong.
Real quick, I guess, because somebody was like, oh, they hate everything. Anyway, the Gray Man, isn't that what it's called? I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun ride. And that was straight to Netflix. You know what I mean? So it is possible for them to do good streaming movies.
Everything, just the movies that suck.
Yeah.
Well, nothing wrong with saying it.
I still think
starring
people should
women.
watch Prey. I still think people should watch Prey. There were certain things that I enjoyed about the first half an hour or so of it.
Okay.
What did you enjoy?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, well, what I enjoyed was I enjoyed her essential journey at the beginning of it. Even though there's a little few things that were on the nose, for whatever reason, it didn't bother me. I was invested in whether she was actually going to be able to go out and hunt and whether to do that. I wanted her to succeed, and I haven't had that in a movie in quite a while.
Oh wow! I thought you were kidding with your DM.
Oh, he wasn't.
Oh man, listen. Immediately, Seekus came off so petty and selfish, because when she is doing the job that all the other women are doing, right? She quits after one plant and does something else, right? Like
I like that. I thought, I'd quit too.
But the whole thing though is she's not doing any of this because she wants to help the tribe or help her family. No, she wants to do it because they said she can't do it, and she knows she's better than them.
It was a purely greedy motivation, but for whatever reason, I was rooting for her to be able to do it.
Huh.
Does she have a nice backside?
Also, you can skip right over
covered
next.
in mud.
Yep.
Huh?
Only when she's covered in mud.
Okay.
From the neck.
All right. I mean, that's important.
I'm not going to try to spoil it much, but Jane and Grant, I have to ask you this because I couldn't figure it out. So, she learned how to camo herself, not camo herself, but keep herself from being
disguise herself. Yeah.
Right. When the Predator is beating up the French people or whatever, and he couldn't see the guy, right? Even though because of the thing, and then he steps on him. Like when he was checking the bodies, right? Even though they were cold, like the little information came up, like but you can't read it because it's Predator language or whatever. What? She was standing in front of him, and he couldn't see her. Like I guess he can't see the heat.
Well, at that stage, she was also wearing plot armor.
Oh, okay.
But like, speaking of plot armor, go ahead, man. Finish up.
Well, because I wanted to hear from Jane. Like,
I think he could see her, but I think he was ignoring her.
Even then, when she's standing in front of him, blocking his
she
way.
was standing directly in front of him.
Oh wow! No, she was not behind a tree. She had to literally step to the left so he wouldn't run her over.
In front of him, but he's just like, "Oh, women, I'm just going to ignore her."
Right.
What did you think of What did you think of the design of the Predator? I didn't like it.
No.
I didn't like the sky. I thought it looked bad.
No, it was terrible.
How does he not know how his equipment works? How does he not know that these arrows are going to go where the laser is?
How does he keep getting hurt?
What? The arrows go where the laser is. What the fuck?
So they because well, Tom, see, predators, whenever they hunt something, they'll lower their power level to make it a more fair fight, because that's what they like to do. So instead of having the shoulder blaster thing, he had 2 to 3 arrows that
this is genuine confusion on my face, by the
way. I'm not making it up. This is what happened. So the laser is pointed there, right? And then when you shoot the arrows, it goes where the laser is, right? But he forgets this
movie.
Well, look, he shot at her brother probably 4 or 5 times, even though the laser was pointed in the wrong way, and he just kept doing it. And like,
okay, that's even excessive for a predator. Predator won't do that. That's the thing. What a part of the predator don't they understand? See, okay, I get the idea of putting like the predator up against a native tribe because that's what they're most comparable to, right? Like they have this honor code, they have all this other stuff going on. And what sounds to me is they're going against all that. Or is this the woman that taught them that? Is that what this movie is trying to emulate?
I genuinely think this was supposed to be the very first encounter, even though...
God, that's what I was just thinking. Oh.
Yeah, so yeah, because he likes to, at the beginning of the predator just wants to use his hands for everything. He's a very handsy sort of predator, you know.
Well, most predators are.
Yeah.
Do they not wear boots?
Yeah, we forgot about that part. The predator.
Damn it, man. Is this taking place on Earth, guys?
That's true.
Yeah.
As far as I know,
I don't want to spoil the end, but Chris Hansen comes in and says, "Would you like to have a seat? Take a seat."
Hold on. Is the predator really a female?
Yes.
Oh well, then never mind. That explains the whole thing with why she couldn't figure out why the arrows.
Arrows in the wrong way. Yeah.
Why she almost got killed by a rattlesnake. I wanted that to happen. I wanted her to
I wish I was as sexist as you are, Mad, so movies made more sense to me.
Even a primitive predator would be more advanced than any
could
human.
Be a predator that has autism, because the last film, that was what they were searching for, was autism to cure everything, because it was the next evolution. So maybe this predator had autism. That's why he was so bad, or she was so bad.
You know,
it was a chick. The predator was a chick.
I get it. Yeah.
This is an outstanding observation. Bigotry of low expectations. Yes.
Did the predator have a nice ass?
But this is supposed to be
technologically
this is supposed to be a very technologically advanced race. This makes no sense.
No, like women don't go into the STEM field a lot. So like the technology though.
That too, but anyway, I'm kidding.
Oh,
sorry.
It was so bad to me. But if you're bored, you have nothing else to do, then
there's some cool kills.
See,
there's some cool kills.
Sad. That's really sad that's how it is. Like, when was the last time we saw a movie that we were really, really like excited to see? Like, you know what I mean?
Mark, I'll tell you what, like, here's what bothers me, and I said this very same thing, and I know culture for him, it was Top Gun. For some people, it might have been Spider-Man. For me, it was Ghostbusters last year.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I said, what has happened? Like, I mean, I've talked about the McDonaldization and the woke shit all the time, but what happened to movies actually making you feel something, right? Like, I walked out of Ghostbusters actually feeling something like, oh my God, I have not felt like this in years and so long. It even kind of was different than the whole Avengers thing, right? Like, that was a buzz, that was a high. But looking back, I mean, I got a lot of flack for it in the chat, but I said flat out, I'm like, no, it kind of feels like that was almost a false sense of what I'm feeling right now, right? Like, because what I feel right now is I feel completely fulfilled by this movie. I feel like it did everything it set out to do.
Yeah.
As a fan of the original films, I feel like I got out of it what I was hoping for. There's a new generation moving on. It almost was like that, oh God, we used to get movies like this all the time. What the fuck happened?
Think about this. You had powerful young men and young women in the very first film, the version of Red Dawn. That was a group of high school kids, right? Juniors, seniors, sophomores, that basically made a difference, in their town and maybe in the fight, overall across the country, right? And you felt something after that film, like Tom said, and it's hard to recapture those emotions, of feeling something.
No, like look at any year in the 90s, 92, 93, compare it to, any of the previous like 10, 15 years. Every year there'll be, a few good movies, right? But in the 90s, every single year there's going to be a list of maybe 15, 20 movies that were not only good.
It was a phenomenal year, though. I mean, you're picking the best year.
Yeah. Any year in the 90s, not only were they good, but they are still relevant today, and they're still brought up and they're still talked about. Mm-hmm. There's some movies that came out 2 years ago we don't remember.
They're being remade. They're being reimagined.
And
that's why it's very good.
And everybody still prefers the original,
yeah.
Because I have a very young aged family member that saw the most recent Matrix film and was like, "This is garbage compared to the original film."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And again, it shows somebody the original thing and then show them the garbage that's being made now. And it's Dr. Anonymous colleagues here wanted I wanted the storyline to be about the brother. His character was fantastic until the third act. Dude, that's where everything woke falls apart the most.
He was so good. He was a good guy.
He literally said, the only reason I got that lion was because of you. You softened it up. What are you talking about? She fell out of a tree and hit her head on a rock and was knocked out. What do you mean?
Yeah. Everything is about, it's all about artificially elevating her.
Yeah, you got it. Well, that's how you
it makes sense. He stayed out of the way, so he was able to get it. I understood that line.
It was Thor saying, Jane, it's because of you I'm worthy of Mjolnir.
That's it.
Hollywood forgot that men and women actually work together by nature. We might not always get along because of the natural tension that's between us and everything, but we do actually complement each other, So when we come together in movies, if you want to be natural and real, then we don't just compete all the time, and that's what they have us doing. It's always got to be one dominant one that squashes the other one. And these days it's always the woman. The only problem is they don't give her any personality. She's got no character flaws whatsoever. So, sometimes part of the fun is watching an asshole character. They might be the hero, but they're also very deeply flawed. Like when you watch Lethal Weapon, you look at you look at Mel Gibson's character. He's messed up, but he's a hero down deep. So that's part of the fun, watching him do great things even though he's messed up.
In that development, but they don't have that because for them the female characters have to start out amazing and their only flaws, they don't know how amazing they are. So that's all the entire film or television series is about, is letting them realize that they are the greatest.
I think what it is that they lack charm. Because if you think about the assholes like that were the protagonists, like Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon, right? They're charming. You know what I mean? Like, but these characters that they're writing now are just absent of anything that will draw you into them to be interested.
But that's the problem. If they come across
they're more robotic then.
If they come across that way, they're going to come across as attractive, and they're intentionally trying to make them unappealing to men.
Okay, I would.
That's their goal. So if you like her and she's strong and all this stuff, then okay, wait, that's wrong. We can't let the men like her. That's a bad thing. We have to change
stop
her.
objectifying it, Jane. Jesus.
It's insane.
Like one of the best feelings, right? When I don't know, you're with somebody. If you're the type to hold hands, is when you reach for your girl or your woman, and she puts her hand in yours. When I was watching what was it, The Force Awakens, every time they did that thing where Finn tried to hold out his hand to Rey and she was offended by it, she practically smacked his hand away. I'm like, yo, that's not even natural, man. That's not in the least bit attractive. It's like men
there's
and women.
No way a white woman's gonna smack a black man's hand away like that.
I mean, not in a lawless place like that. If they had...
He's not wrong. It hasn't happened with me yet, but I'm just saying.
I ain't trying to be racist. I just saying, like.
Nah.
I mean, normal. Typically speaking, that's not what would happen. But they have this whole weird thing where they feel like in order to make the women characters better or strong or whatever this is that they're trying to do, they have to diminish the men and masculinity. And in relationships, traditional, particularly heterosexual.
Well, and they could have done it in a way that it didn't have to be demeaning to either character, right? Like, all joking aside from what I was saying before, you're right. Here's the thing. Normally, in a normal type of movie, you could let her be a little bit of a woman for a minute and be interested in this guy because A, he's a stranger. B, he's clearly not from there, and she wants to know more about the outside world without leaving. You may want to talk to this individual. Yeah. He's not one of just the typical guys coming through, right? So right there's more than enough interest in normal films where that's where your protagonist would be like, hey, this guy's kind of interesting, right? And that's where something would blossom from there. And I don't see a problem with that. To me, I see they had more of a problem with getting a white woman with a black woman. That's what I see. Because that, to me, seems like the bigger issue because they knew they couldn't sell it in fucking China then.
It's such a problem, man.
I don't think they were entirely concerned just with China.
But
everyone
like
says that, but I think they were concerned with this audience here in America because they project onto the American audience too.
That too,
their own racism. But look at how they wrote Finn. It's not like he was written better.
They cut him down every chance they could.
Because I'll tell you guys where I have a basis for this.
Was when he yelled Ray 1,800 times.
Yeah, right.
Look,
they made him a janitor.
I had hopes after Force Awakens that they were going to develop the film in the direction of them working together as a pair of force-sensitive people that were going to be introduced to this concept of becoming Jedi. And I was super stoked, and they killed it.
And I got to say, I think Jane is onto something with the whole, they think America isn't ready for this either. Because I'll give you an example. I think Fan Four Stick is a great example. Hey, Jay, how you doing, man?
Jay, for $5.
Because you'll remember they changed it to where they were adopted brother and sister so they could have have her still white, remember? But yet still they could have their cake and eat it too. Why else would they do that? Because they knew damn well, like Jane said, that America isn't just ready for that yet. And same thing, we can't sell it in China if a white woman or a black woman and a white man are together, right? Like that's what they can't do.
And that's incredibly disappointing, right? But let me tell you, they're willing to swallow their pride, when they have to, and just not release things. I mean, Lightyear, which went to streaming already, folks. It went early. It went Thursday. You could stream that on Disney Minus. They are not releasing that in Saudi Arabia or any country where the local market has, censorship clauses for, same-sex stuff and other things like that. It's pretty disappointing. But Drunk 3PO sent $5 because there's no Scott. He says, "Here's money. Thanks, Drunk. Appreciate you."
Well, Scott shouldn't be here more often. He'd make more money.
He'd make more money.
That is a point.
But I'm just saying, imagine how short the Terminator movie and franchise would have been if when my man came up and said, "Come with me if you want to live." By today's standards, she would just be like, "I'm not going anywhere with you." Terminator would get her. Movie's over.
Well, actually, by the way, she would have been justified though, because the whole first movie, he's trying to kill her. You know what I mean? So,
well, no, he's talking about Reese. He's talking about Reese.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
My
See,
bad,
people
my bad.
forget, man, that
My bad.
the second movie is basically the same movie all over again, just different characters saying the same lines. But the point stands is that no, he's 100% correct. And they even make that point in the movie where she's not dumb enough necessarily to believe him at first. It isn't until, you know, she's in the literal crosshairs of the Terminator when she finally realizes, oh shit, this guy's not lying here. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So, did Get Out make money?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all of his
Yeah.
films have made money. The only one that really is looking like it might not is Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing terrible things about that.
Yeah,
I
haven't
haven't
seen
seen
it.
it yet, but I wanted to.
I have a family member who sees all horror films like I do, and that person was like, it was okay.
Which sucks because I actually like alien films. I'm not a big fan of modern horror films, but
Oh,
yeah.
you're talking about the new one that just came out?
Yeah, the Nope.
Because Grip
Yeah.
said Get Out. Yeah. Is Nope any good?
I've heard Nope.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I gotta be
think
honest,
he's
like,
on. I think he's turning into like M. Night Shyamalan. Either you get it or you don't. You know, a lot of people just didn't get it. I don't know.
It's funny you mentioned that because his like third major outing is an alien related film, much like Signs.
Oh wow.
How about
that?
I like
that.
Signs.
I like
I don't know
Signs,
about this.
yeah.
Yeah,
But-
Signs
but
was good.
That was the point at which M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
That was his
started
last good
doing more.
movie, yeah.
I mean, let's be honest though. There's some struggle in that one too.
Even
like,
that one, I agree with you, man.
Yeah.
Like I had some
Oh,
problems
boy.
with that ending. Yeah.
oh yeah, everything worked out so
Wing
perfect
I
with.
love horror
Who would have
films.
thought of that? Who would have
I
thought
love
using it
Swing away,
as a
Merrill.
weapon?
It wasn't logical, but
So the
It
mandatory.
was symbolic.
yeah.
Yeah, indeed. The mandatory cold shower man for $2 says Scott's still not here.
This is good. This is good. See what drunk started?
You got to give the people what they want, Scott, which isn't you, evidently.
Here, pay him not to come back.
Oh Lord,
I love you, Scott.
I love you.
By the way, also Taka Wakiki, he's in that same boat as like, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, like I'm a big fan. Well,
You were a big fan.
To a point, I
Yeah.
agree with you, Matt. It was like, here's the difference with Taika and him is Taika's done a lot more films, and up until Thor: Love and Thunder, this is his first real misstep.
yeah.
All of his other stuff has been fairly successful. That's the thing.
Yeah, I didn't care for Jojo Rabbit personally. Like,
But no,
Because-
it did well enough.
but it did well, yeah. And not enough people have seen the wilderness, whatever it's called. In Search of Wilderness. People is like
He's got a good reputation, right? Even though
Up
I don't
until
like
recently,
it, but
yeah.
I don't like his
Yeah.
attitude.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that's where people soured on him, and then Thor: Love and Thunder didn't help, and yeah.
You
So
think he needs,
there's a-
he needs to stick behind the camera more because every time he's on screen in anything now, I just can't. He's a character of himself.
It is the same
Yeah,
shtick
yeah.
over and over again. You're right, Grant. Like I'm a stupid idiot. I'm gonna make a stupid joke.
But my big problem with him recently is that it's always the same thing, and he's always diminishing like an actual moment. If you from Thor Ragnarok to the most recent Thor film, he takes like something that should carry emotional weight and he tries to disarm it immediately with humor.
Yeah.
And and that's completely misunderstanding the first kinds of humor that was like in the very first Guardians of the Galaxy. It's misusing that kind of humor to offset some tension. He does it all the time, and it removes emotional weight. And it reminds the audience that there's nothing significant in these films because there are no consequences at the end of the day. Everybody lives.
exactly. That's why I can't go see it, man. Come on.
If I can balance this out real quick, because I try, to put a little positive things in when I can. There's a director, Riley Stearns. He just did his third movie. His first movie was The Art of Self-Defense, which you can find on Hulu. And have you seen it, Jane?
No, I'm just laughing at all these super
Damn
chats.
it. All right, fine.
Yeah,
man.
You got to read
The Art of Self-Defense. Hold on. There's only two. All right.
Okay.
And then he did, his first one was False. Then he did The Art of Self-Defense, and Duel just came out. And they're all funny and they're unique. He has a very specific type of humor that he does.
Is that the one with what's his name that played Lex Luthor in it? Eisenberg,
Yes.
whatever. Yeah.
In Art of Self-Defense. And it was so great. Once you once you key in on the humor, you're like, okay, I get it now. And it's great. Guys, he's a great director. He's check him out, man. Riley Stearns. All right. Art of Self-Defense is probably the best way in, and Faults was good as well. And it was a female protagonist and didn't bother me.
Okay. And then by the end of the stream, just make sure you mention S. Craig Zahler, so everybody knows who that is too, because that'd be great. Look, our friend Toxic Man flew for $10, and I'm sorry, Matt, I was just kidding. That was a joke. And
have you seen Benny Loves You?
I'm going to stop doing the bit. But anyway, Toxic Man flew for $10 says, Scott sucks.
You didn't say the 4 dots.
Right. Well, I took a pause.
Dot.
No, the pause is 3 dots. That's 4 there. It's clearly a different sound.
Oh, crap. Okay.
You got to read them all together, man.
Okay, here we go. Scott sucks. There, see, I added the sigh that time. So okay, very good. All right. Oh, wait. Script Doctor said something smart. Peele spent 10 years writing Get Out. Everything that's come out after that's been written since Get Out. The guy needs more time to refine his stories.
I mean, you're probably right. I mean, that's the thing. They rush through everything to get it out.
They do.
Yeah.
You want to stay a hot property in Hollywood, and it's hard to do. It really is. Usually your first ideas are your best.
Yeah.
16-bit mascot for $350. $350. Can somebody do the $350 thing?
$350?
$350. No, there's like a bit.
About $350.
Thank you. From South Park, right? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, 16-bit mascot for $350 says, "I'm super chatting again because Scott's gone." Scott, dude, you are making money hand over fist right now, bro. Just stay
It's rolling in.
Yeah,
Power of drunk 3PO.
Yeah, the power of drunk 3PO for another $5, dude. He started a trend. This is for Mark, and the fact that Scott is not here. Okay.
I don't care how much money you throw at me. I'm not taking off my clothes.
See,
I was gonna go get my wallet. Never mind.
Huh?
That sounds like a challenge.
The power of drunk 3PO and Scott not here.
Yeah.
You guys are so brutal. Boosh McFadden for $5 says, "Who's this Scott person anyway?" Right?
Who knows? You won't find him here on this channel.
This is great.
Maybe on Mondays he might stumble into the guy. Maybe. John Campia is a huge fan of the channel, everybody. I know you guys know that. For $5. John Campia.
Read it. You don't want him to try to do to you what happened to him.
No. He says, if you look at the shadow of Tobey Maguire's Dingle Dangle, you can see Scott is not here.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
No.
It's still one of the best things ever with the pointing at the... Anyway, all right. And then Toxic Man flew for another $10. Oh, no! He says, here is $10 for Scott. Definitely not because my own sister wants drunk 3PO autograph from the Vegas meetup because, quote unquote, he's cute.
Well, he was at one time known as the sexiest man on YouTube, and he could still be.
I think he is
the most handsome man on YouTube.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, I got to say that because Dimajanai is out there, and that's
true. He's the sexiest man.
Oh, right. I don't know.
He throws a little fit when that happens. I'm the sexiest man. I am. Mom says so.
Real quick. Hey, Tox, I'm still alive. Haven't heard from you, bud.
Get rid of the lower panel. Oh, Paulie, come on in.
Paulie.
I've been just sitting here waiting this whole time for something to talk about. I got nothing in this earlier shit.
Oracle Techno says Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
That's right.
By the way, that's probably one of Matt Damon's best role. Like, I believed everything about him. He didn't sing the song, but
he was the best part of that movie.
I like that movie.
It was all right. It just wasn't as good as the first one.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that kid in East Germany.
Kai Good Boys says, is it true filming of Rings of Power was delayed for a day after Jeff Bezos visited the set and sunlight bouncing off his bald pate ruined 2 camera lenses?
Well, JJ was fine with all the lens flare, but you couldn't see nothing.
That's not how the Force works.
Oh, man. I Go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
I was just saying the topic has turned to drunk 3PO's attractiveness in the chat there. And I just want to say, and I'm sure Jane can bear witness to this, when you see drunk in person, it's almost like you can't even look at him. I mean, just
He shines.
the radiance that comes off of that man. It's like
you can't look directly at him. I mean, you know, I've had the opportunity.
So it's kind of like Jesus.
Yeah, because you meet it. Like I've met with him a few times, right? And I've had that.
You met Jesus?
No. Drunk 3 p.m.
Well, he does obviously look a lot like him.
Yeah. Well, hey, Jesus, he knows me, and he knows I'm right. I've been talking to Jesus.
Really? You're gonna start
All my
singing
life.
Genesis now?
Yeah, Genesis, really.
Look, I've streamed with Jay a few times. He seems like a pretty good dude. Like,
he's a good guy.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, Mark just started KOTOR. He should have watched LotR with us today.
oh shit, I was thinking the same thing. Culture. I was like, what? Mark, you're watching that movie? It's so.
No,
Wait, Mark, you've never played Knights of the Old Republic?
I know. I almost got kicked off the stream when I said that. I mean, I thought playing Lego Star Wars was a good thing, but apparently, you know, I lost a lot of cool points with the old Dark Council over that one. But
that's fun too.
I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed.
Yeah, Finn has more dialogue in that.
Euro Trip isn't a sequel.
Yeah, it's in maybe like a spiritual sequel, like Nice Guys to Kiss Kiss Bang Bang kind of a thing.
Did you?
But it's not a direct.
Did
sequel.
you see the thing coming out about Jennifer Connelly? Not Jennifer Connelly. Coolidge.
Well,
Coolidge,
I don't know
they
who it
argue
is.
with you here because it is part of the Road Trip trilogy, which is Road Trip, Euro Trip, and Road Trip Beer Pong. Just so you know.
so Jennifer Coolidge, right? The Stifler's mom lady, right? I guess she was talking out in public about getting a lot of play after she did that role.
Who?
Jennifer Coolidge?
Is that the chick from Euro Trip?
No, that's the chick from the American Pie.
The one that has the real soothing
Stifler's
voice.
mom.
Is she hot?
Oh, her. Yes, he had sex with like 200 men after that movie. Did you know that?
Oh,
It's
thanks
because
for
she's
that bit,
Stifler's
man.
mom.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not kidding. She just did
That's a real thing.
An article. She's in an article, like an interview.
Yeah.
Like in
Speaking of
Variety.
Stifler's mum,
Yeah.
Orville Nation with $5.
There's a-
Thank you. Wow, Orville Nation for $5. We are all going through a post-traumatic experience from years of crappy movies and series. You are not wrong, PJ. By the way, follow Orville Nation if you don't. Dude is amazing, has incredible content, guest quality stuff that you won't find here on Scott's channel, other than us.
But by the way, there's a great.
Go ahead.
No, Mark, we keep trying to talk at the same
Well, I
time.
know we're on the same wavelength. You this time. Go ahead.
No, mine's gonna be dumb. Yours is probably gonna be smart.
No, I was just gonna say for Orville Nation, that season finale was different, but it made me sad because it almost felt like even they don't know if they're gonna get picked up again.
You don't.
You know?
I like how you use the word different. It's like you see someone with a really shitty haircut, you're like, oh, that's different.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I expected, but it was
Right.
sweet. It was sweet. It was yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna say
Right.
my dumb thing now. So there's this great North Texas band called Bowling for Soup, and they did this song called
Oh, I love
Stifler's
them.
Mom. Stifler's Mom.
has got it going on.
I knew it.
She's
Yeah.
all that I want, and I waited for so long.
Oh wow, I really didn't think that through. I did not know that was gonna lead to that. I'm sorry.
That's not how you play bass either, just to let you know.
Anyway, Bowling for Soup, good band. North Texas.
They're great. Does this affect us now on viewing things with a clean slate? No, I'm still able to do it. Maybe for some people, there are some things that are already poisoned. I mean, honestly, the anti-marketing techniques that they use now really do keep me away from going to see something.
Exactly. It's the marketing that's the problem.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
willing to start anything with a clean slate, but when you start off by telling me that it's not for me, then I'm inclined to agree with you.
I don't think it's really that big of a deal to go in like thinking it's going to be bad because I've been surprised, by a few movies that I just had no expectations of it being anything but horrible, and yeah, it turned out like I love to be proven wrong going into a movie. That's great. That's a good thing. It just doesn't happen that often.
I agree. People have told me off for, just giving my first impressions about things. And I say, it looks like it's going to suck. And they're always like, haha, wait till it comes out and it's good. I'm like, you idiot. If it's good, I still win because I'm going to enjoy it. You know what I mean? I just don't come out here just wanting to hate stuff. I'm just talking about, the way things have been looking these days. Look, it's hard to believe.
But it's fair to judge something by the trailer, because the trailer is a commercial for the movie.
Yeah, but man, they can make some bad trailers, and they can. Great example though is Suicide Squad. The journey, not the journey. Oh man, is it Journey? No, Queen with the Queen song. Remember? Yeah, but yeah, that trailer. They're like, oh man, it was so good. They're like, hey, you guys that make trailers, you want to edit the movie? See if you could spiff it up a little bit for us. Like that's what had people go see it because of that trailer. Now, the opposite can be true too. Like there's been a lot of bad trailers. Like I'll be talking to my girlfriend about some movie that she hasn't seen. I'm like, you got to see this movie, and I'll show a trailer. And I'm like, okay, never mind. Don't watch this trailer because it's so bad. Like Last of the Mohicans has a horrible trailer.
Oh, really? You thought so?
The trailer, the original trailer for The Last of the Mohicans,
badly done.
Yeah, because I remember a long time ago.
I didn't think it was that bad.
An ex. I showed an ex the trailer. Yeah, I showed it to an ex, and she's like, "Oh, I'm not watching that." The trailer was so bad. I'm like, "No, this is Daniel Day-Lewis. This is one of the classics." She's like, "No, I'm not watching that."
It was good.
Yeah, I
love the movie. The movie's great.
Yeah, the trailer's not great, but look, emotionally unstable amphetamine for $5 every time. Thank you, Tina Bojan. I'm contractually obligated to say my husband is the sexiest man not on YouTube. Well, okay. Then she would know. She would know.
I don't remember the trailer for Tombstone. I'm not sure if it was good or bad, but I know
it was so good.
Yeah, because that's like one of my favorite movies of all time, and I don't remember the trailer.
Oh, I just recently rewatched the shootout at the OK Corral clip, and it still gives you the feels, right?
It's better than OK. It's really good.
Yeah,
there's so much in that movie to love. Yeah.
Now I gotta bring it up, but Old Henry, which came out last year, is my favorite Western probably since Bone Tomahawk, and it was my favorite movie of last year. Have you seen it yet, Culture? Tom, got it in 4K yet?
You managed. It
comes out in October, I think.
Yeah, it does. And you managed.
Or no, Bone Tomahawk. Or Old Henry?
Old Henry.
Incredible.
Old Henry comes out in like October.
Yeah.
Old Henry has a lot less like penis bifurcation in comparison to Bone Tomahawk. So
yeah, well, Bone Tomahawk, right, and Tombstone feature the same actor.
Yeah, Kurt Russell.
And who made Bone Tomahawk? Because I knew you were going to work with
S. Craig Zoller.
Yeah, thank you.
The messed up part about that Bone Tomahawk is that my mom recommended that to me. I'm watching this.
Really?
I'm like, Mom, what are you doing watching this? That was terrible.
Have you seen Dragged Across Concrete?
Oh, that's a good one too. That's his latest one.
Another S. Craig Zoller. It's really good.
It's really good. Yes, Mel Gibson and what's his name? Big tall guy.
I always forget his name.
Yeah, I always forget it. Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn.
He's been around for a million years, Yeah. Vegas, baby. Anyway, all right, here we go.
Vince Vaughn is also in Brawl and Cell Block 99.
Yeah, the Brawl film was incredible too. Everything S. Craig Zoller does is very good. Matt always makes sure we talk about him at some point. So there you go. Toxic Man flew for $5 says, "Hi, Matt. Where's Scott?" Wait, I don't care. So never mind. Was Drug 3PO on the channel? That would have been fun. He could have come in here at any point.
It says panel, but I know what you mean.
I mean,
why isn't he
hello,
on the channel?
Toxic?
I don't know. So where's his invite? Grant, can you invite Drunk?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Oh, so the next super chat's for you, Med. So
look, if you're still out there, get your ass in here, bro.
Yeah, dude. How come you're not here already? He is really handsome. I don't care what anybody says. And again, you can't look directly at him. It's the weirdest
thing. Gorgeous.
And when he holds you, it's like when I met him and he threw me in this embrace, and I just didn't want him to let go. I mean, I'm just saying,
it's the one time
I'm secure.
It's the one time you'll get a hug from a Canadian bear, and you're going to be okay with it.
He's Canadian?
No.
It's something he's got going on. Yeah.
He has a Canadian vibe to him.
He dresses up for his people. That's what.
And smothers his nipples with maple syrup.
Yeah, dude. My favorite. I was up north. I was at the cabin at the time, and he dressed up like a turkey. It was pretty incredible. We got a Toxic Man flew for another $2. Says Matt has an ex. What's his name?
Ooh.
Question.
Oh wow, so original. I love how you can take that joke and just make it relevant again. I haven't. Oh, good job, Tox.
Yeah, Apocalypto. Yeah, great.
That's a good one
Oh,
too. Yeah, that's Ed Harris.
Very
Great movie.
Yeah,
Great
and Vigors, what's his name? Viggo Mortensen. Yeah. Did you know he played the devil in Prophecy, which Christopher Walken is one of the scariest men alive.
You know, it's interesting, Kitty Bear. There is a show hosted on Drunk 3PO's basement that somebody could get the wrong idea. That's true. All right, let's move on.
Put
To
some
what?
lotion on their skin.
I don't know. We have stuff to talk about. I wanted to mention this film because it just came out. It's called Bullet Train. You might have heard of it. It's got this guy.
I've been looking forward to it.
I haven't
Brad
seen it
Pitt.
yet.
I was hoping it was going to be a sleeper hit, but it might rock just over 30 million at the box office, and that's pretty soft for a guy with this kind of star power. It got attacked. Go ahead.
But the star power really bring in like it used to? Like, I don't think, like, really just having a name in a movie has the same appeal or the same draw that it did, at the peak.
I agree.
I think Tom Cruise is the last one.
I think that Will Smith was one of the last couple, and he eliminated himself from the equation. Yeah, I agree.
I think if both of them, I think if he had done World War Z, the second one, and if Will Smith came back and did the second
Independence Day?
Not Independence Day, not Aliens. I mean the next zombie movie.
Legend, and then they do a crossover.
I Am Legend.
If they got those out, I think those would have been hits.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I like the World War Z though.
Oh, I thought it was marginal, but that's just
I loved it.
It had Peter Capaldi playing the WHO doctor. It was pretty funny.
I don't care for running zombies. Like, I'm cool if they're like, like Romero, like Romero zombies. Yeah, I'm good. I got this, right? Running, and she knows this. I'm kicking my girlfriend in her bad knee, and I'm getting out of there. I'll make her sound like a hero, but like, I don't mess around with these things.
Terrifying.
You would be that dude from 28 Days Later. He just bolted. I was like, holy crap, that guy didn't even look back. He just ran.
Mark, I've told you, I have a 2-person rule. If I see 2 people running, I'm running too. Because I know these are the things that get white people killed. I don't mess with animals I don't know. I don't hang out in the woods at night. I don't check out strange noises, and I don't get in the ocean.
You will survive, my friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's something very wrong with you. But I actually anticipated this to be, much better received by the audience too. I thought it would be well over, 80% on, Rotten Tomatoes, but it's not.
People don't like public transport. That's what it is.
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, it definitely got hammered because early garbage, was out there, saying there wasn't enough representation. And the guy that was like responsible for it was like, the character, I didn't write him as Japanese. Could have been anybody. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he has enough representation at home.
Yeah, that's what they were looking for.
Doesn't it take place in Japan?
What?
It's a Bullet Train.
Yeah.
How is there not representation?
Well, no, I mean there is, but there isn't. I mean they wanted like different. They wanted like more Asian representation. I don't know.
It takes place in Japan.
Jewish black dudes.
I know. It's like how much more?
But the person responsible for this film is like, I wouldn't even focus on it. I don't even care, right? So anyway, it is what it is. But
did you see it? Did you watch
No, I haven't seen it yet. I want to go see it. I regardless, this is the film I was supposed to try to see on Thursday. It didn't work out. Then I was going to try to see it today. It didn't work out. So maybe I'll get to see it tomorrow or on Monday. Probably Monday at this point. But I'm going to see this film because I liked how it looked. I thought the trailer was intriguing. I don't know. Tom, are you going to go see this thing, or have you seen this thing, or you care?
I just saw trailers. I mean, it looked interesting enough to see it when it comes out on video or streaming, but I mean, I wasn't going to jump to go see it in the theater.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Jeez, I'm Solo. Not Han Solo.
Dude, I haven't been to the theater and I don't know how long to the movies. Nothing is out.
Top Gun.
No, I skipped that one.
Yeah. His running around in a dress didn't help either, honestly.
It didn't bother me. I'm like, whatever. I don't. You know what I mean? He's like 60 years old. Like, he's gonna have these moments.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's 60.
Yeah.
You didn't like him in a dress, Jane?
No.
I have to say that I'm with whoever's voting for start power in a film. I'm not sure what Stark's power is, but well done.
I think Scott's back.
You can
What do
tell.
you mean back?
Well, he's not in here.
He's in the chat.
He's in the chat.
Oh no, that's probably Grant.
You think it's Grant?
Is it?
No, I'm not in the
Grant
chat.
pretending to be Scott? No, because Grant doesn't want to. Look, we want money, right?
Well, the super
as long
chats
as-
have.
We have to keep Scott way away from the channel right now. So, all right. Okay, so let's move on because nobody cares about my thing, which is fine.
How come I will not get in the ocean? Dude, everything in there is going to want to kill you. Are you kidding me?
I love those.
No. Dude, if not, then a dolphin's going to come have his way with you. Come on.
That's not how that works. That's
Yeah, it
not
is.
how- that's not how the
Dolphins
force
are
works.
extremely rapey.
Speaking of not how the force works, let's finally get into some DC conversation, and I know this will engage everyone.
What?
Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
Oh, Sherry. DC will have a 10-year plan akin to Marvel's playbook, says
Really?
David Zaslav. Well,
So
there
the
you
films are
go.
going to get progressively worse over the next 10 years.
I
Great.
gotta hope not. But honestly, okay, so look, let's start with Jane and move down in descending order, which means I'm last, which you guys are probably happy about. But
Start with
go ahead,
and
Jane.
move
Your
down.
thoughts on a 10-year plan to make DC rock the box
I mean, part of me wants to trust what he has to say because he's been saying the right things.
for a long time.
Yeah, and lately too, in terms of wanting to protect the brand and wanting to actually promote things that make money, prioritizing that over maybe message and using it as a platform. Some of the decisions he's made in terms of what he's cutting, I'm really sort of happy to see, but time will tell. I don't think they should necessarily have a 10-year plan in terms of we want, to lay out all of these things. I think what the plan should be is we want to put out a good series of films and television series. That's what I want to hear. I don't really care what your plan is because, best laid plans, but I want to know that you're actually going to invest in good writers, good stories, good characters, good actors. That's what I want to hear. And, we'll see, I guess. But he's making the right move so far.
Wonder Woman, the first Avenger.
I mean, that's basically what the first one was, right?
They've been talking about having sex with dolphins while Aquaman is on the screen.
That was,
There's
that was
Tom, is that you
disturbing
hitting
about
the
this.
pipe?
inconvenient timing.
Fuck
of all
yes.
Yeah.
that. But look, Jane's right. I mean, wouldn't it be great if he actually followed through on what he said? But so far, I think he has.
I thought we were going in order.
we are. It's Mark's turn.
Hey, Jane.
Jane,
I
just
think. Are you done? Well, I just think they need to get Zack Snyder back, and I'm not even the biggest Zack Snyder fan. It's just that it seems like he's the only one, like he's their best shot. They don't seem to know what they're doing at all, And at least he was able to bring it all together. He had a real vision. Because I don't know. I don't have any faith in what they're doing, man. Nope.
I'm not on board with the Zack. Like I'm happy for all the people that enjoy his work. You got congratulations. Man, it took me like 3 times to get through that his Snyder cut thing. Oh boy. Anyway, 300, love 300, and his remake of Dawn of the Dead. I enjoyed that as well.
Love
That's about it. Anyway, so for me though, I think that we were robbed a good movie when Ben Affleck was no longer directing his own Batman movie. I still would, because I think Ben Affleck is a better director than he is an actor, but I thought he was fine. I thought he as Batman, I thought he was really good. I thought he may have been weighed down a little bit by the script, but I liked him as Batman for real, and I would love to see that. And I don't care about any of the other characters. Like,
you don't
What?
like Henry
What?
Cavill?
oh, Henry Cavill though. Yes, he deserves
Not even the
12
Flash?
more movies. He deserves 12 more Superman. Not the same depiction that he's had before, because I just don't enjoy that Superman. But like Henry Cavill, like hashtag that's my Geralt.
Yeah.
I would like to see Batfleck do a Death in the Family storyline.
Speaking of
All
which, I would love to see that. Could you imagine that?
It
Sure,
would be
Tom. I
terrible,
can.
but yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of which,
Tom's
Tom,
next.
Tom's not muted. Tom is muted now. He wasn't muted for a period of time.
Well, yeah, because y'all didn't tell me.
Okay. Well, so what do you think? You think this 10-year plan is a thing?
Well, I've been hearing about this 10-year plan for a while. If you'll remember, I've been saying they want Henry Cavill for what? They wanted Superman for the next what? 10 years. I've been saying that for a while. Yeah. And this makes complete sense. They've been going at it with, oh, we're doing this. Oh, now we're doing this. And they'll change midstream in the middle of movies, right? I mean, we've gone from a point where Zack Snyder was the head of DC. Ben Affleck was overseeing it for a hot minute. Then it went on to Berg and Johns, and I'm probably missing 3 people in between there. And then Hamada came in. So, I mean, this thing has been, in the last few years, taken over by more people than, you can imagine. And there's no uniformity, right? And that's one thing that Zaslav, he knows that these movies should be floating the rest of the company. That's what we've been saying for a while. And he said that pretty much exact fucking thing. Like everything we've been saying for the last few months is exactly what he said at that earnings call, which was kind of hilarious to me. Yeah. I mean, we could have even made some of those charts for him, for fuck's sake, which was hilarious. But no, I mean, at this point, Batgirl made no sense to release. I feel like there's clearly got to be some sort of stipulation or something in somebody's contract that they have to release the Flash. Otherwise, why wouldn't they just trash it at this point? Because as Script Doctor so poignantly had named the film, Flash pointless at this point. It is, because it leads nowhere. Nothing that's being introduced in the film is leading to anything. And to me, it's just another hurdle that Zaslav has to get over to get to what he wants to do. And that is reestablish Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman as the center of the DC universe. Yeah, right? Yeah. So, I mean, again, I don't know for those who have seen the actual earnings call or heard it, but there was a few bits and pieces in it that were very, very important. Oh, you did?
Yeah. Yeah, of course I got kicked out. They're like, oh, you're not even invested.
Oh,
how did you get this
do it
number?
Online, man? You shouldn't have went to the building. No, of course.
Hey, listen, the security guards opened the door for me and I just walked in. I didn't even know what was happening. I didn't even know there was a investors meeting.
Again.
Kicked out again.
It worked the first time.
Victor Fontaine is making a good point that I always make. The problem is Cavill is 40. How good a Superman will he be at 50?
I think beautiful.
Do the Kingdom Come storyline.
Yeah, well, the thing is that the hair, man, he's gonna need the Shatner 2000 very soon. If you've noticed what's going on, I'm just saying,
that is one of the things that is a concern of theirs that I've heard, right? Like that is on the list. The bigger concern though is availability.
Yeah,
they want a Superman who's going to be available, and unfortunately, or fortunately for Henry Cavill anyway, he's a busy guy. He's got a couple franchises under his belt now, including.
He's doing Highlander as well.
Witcher, and he's working on Highlander, which is a potential franchise, and he's being rumored heavily for Bond. So
I want him to do Bond, man.
There's going to come to a point where, sorry.
That's the one I want him to do later, like when he does turn 50. But he's still too young for Bond. I never liked the whole idea of a young Bond.
Yeah.
Look, The Witcher. By the way, I wish I could agree with you that is his franchise. Like I
know what you're saying, but yeah.
I think like 2 days and he'll be able to do all of his film, he'll film all his scenes for season 3. You know what I mean? They're just going to cut him out more.
Well, and the weirdest thing, right, is that we're still, and this is the thing that blows my mind, and I'm going to drop this in right where we're at, is that we have this shit to suffer still.
Well, and we'll see on that.
I just don't know how they can release it.
Well, and that's the thing is Tom.
And that's kind of what I was saying is like, there's got to be something here. There's got to be either a licensing deal, a back end deal with Keaton, something that is getting in the way of this movie not being shelved. Now, what I keep hearing is that just because they say they're committed to the Flash does not mean they're committed to Ezra Miller, right? Like, and as things are going along and progressing here at this point, it looks a lot less likely he's going to be in the movie. And all these, when these papers are saying, oh, it's too expensive to reshoot and this, that, and the other, they're going off of Hollywood analysts. The person I talked to that is closer to that side of things flat out said, people don't realize that all these movies are shot in front of green screens now.
Yep.
Yeah.
90% of what you see is not what they're shot in front of. And the fact that Ezra Miller plays
doesn't even really fly in Superman. Like,
that
people
too.
don't know that.
Henry Cavill cannot fly. I hate to break your all's hearts. Henry Cavill can't fly.
Bullshit.
And another thing is 80% of the time that ain't
Citations.
even Ben Affleck in the suit, right? It's unless it's a close up and he's got lines, it ain't him.
How dare you? Next, you're gonna tell me that wasn't really fuck. I forgot his name. Darth Vader, Anakin. Shit.
It wasn't most of the time, unfortunately. But anyhow,
that wasn't Pascal, whatever his name is, in the Mandalorian.
It wasn't Pascal either, unfortunately.
What?
No. But like,
Wow.
But basically, what I was told is that all the elements they just need to deconstruct it all, film whoever they want for the Flash, and then reconstruct it. They might have to do a couple weeks of reshoots for certain things, but at the same time, the movie needs to be fixed now. On top of it all, just like that's the only reason we're getting Aquaman reshoots, is because they need to fix it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens here. But my from what I can gather is they will probably bring in Dylan O'Brien or one of those people that's already been rumored to be taking over the role in the future and reshoot Ezra's stuff with this individual, try to cobble together something to get it out, because at this point, that's the only thing I can see is they have to get it out because of some licensing deal or Michael Keaton, because Batgirl wouldn't have a back end deal with Michael Keaton because that was originally established for HBO Max. Getting bumped to a theatrical release was Toby Emmerich's idea.
So real quick, because my sources pretty much like, can verify like everything you just said. And also like, remember Army of the Dead? Is that what it was called?
Yeah,
where,
same
like,
thing. Tig-Notaro.
The helicopter. Yeah. They replaced them like entirely, right? It looked like crap. It was very noticeable. You know what I mean? Plus,
Chris,
she was unbearable. But
the difference there was they were trying to bring her into an already finished film.
Yeah.
In this case, like I said, they'd have to completely deconstruct what they've done already.
Well,
but it wouldn't be as difficult as some of the papers are trying to imply.
Just give the video to Matt. His editing skills, putting new faces on old faces.
Actually, you're not wrong. He probably could do a pretty good job.
I would just give it. I would give it to Grant. Like, although that's serious stuff. Grant does the serious things.
He does, and he does a great job for me editing my videos on my channel. And he's going to be very busy this next week. But this particular film right now is probably sitting raw in an editor still. I have a feeling that it's like loaded somewhere, ready to re-go.
Wait, what?
Because as Tom said, I'm not kidding. Because
he just shot it more again on June.
Yeah,
and that was just before all that expose and stuff came out about Ezra.
Yeah, the new batch of bologna sausage, right?
Oh no, what happened?
Oh, what happened?
Well, that would have been just before the Variety expose, and then now we have recently the Insider expose. So pick one.
Well, I heard that
there was the Rolling Stone one in between there. Forgot about that.
I heard he like started like a support group in Iceland or something. So maybe he's turning
a
things
support
around.
group. That's what I would call it, man.
It's
doing the Lord's work.
It's at certain points you will become an involuntary volunteer at the support group in the future.
Believe me, I know about that. It wasn't a cult, but it was cult.
That's what needs to happen.
If they could
go ahead and get arrested,
they got to find him. I mean, had any of this happened after or during the reshoots, it'd have been easier to find the guy to serve him. But,
yeah.
Just listen to people, women screaming, and then go, it's probably Ezra.
That's probably Ezra.
Yeah.
I mean, so do you think if they replace him, that whoever it is going to be better than Ezra?
Anybody's better than Ezra.
I don't see how that's possible. You think how cool Ezra is when he runs?
Anything's better than Ezra.
Okay.
That was the joke. You stepped on the joke, Grant.
No, I improved it. You're welcome.
No, I don't think you did.
Stepped on the joke, dude.
Better than Ezra. It was a band in like the 90s or some shit.
Yeah, it was a joke. People know that joke.
I stand by it.
I said why.
What? I don't watch other streamers. How would I know people have already used that joke?
I use that joke.
What?
Huh? So essentially,
I don't.
And Tom, do you have that tweet available where Variety is like totally gunning for Zaslav now? Because they made them.
I don't. That was that rap one that we had. I think either you or Valliant. I think Valliant had come up with the other version of it because I couldn't get to it because it was behind a paywall. But it was a nothing burger article anyway.
Yeah.
Well, they basically had this picture of Zaslav with a clown nose, and they were trying to say how he tanked the stock and it was a horrible move to cancel all these movies. And it's like, okay, I can understand from, on the surface level if you've seen that. But if you're writing an article like this and you're supposed to be in the industry, you look like a moron right now because, like, I couldn't even figure it out myself because I don't understand math. Math is racist. And, I was told that they saved $12 million by canceling the Batgirl. And I'm like, I don't understand how that works. But, like, people like Valliant and Script Doctor and Culture have explained it to me. I don't understand it. But they still explained it to me.
Well, there's a small window available that you're allowed to set costs off on the previous entity, and that's what they are doing. They're taking that opportunity to do these write downs to the tune of like over $240 million. In fact, I'm going to cover it this week in one of the videos.
Well, we didn't get Grant's take on this yet either, but I also just wanted to point out that it wasn't just DC stuff that got the shaft, right? We're not going to see the House Party remake and a few other things now, either Scoob too.
Oh, Kid and Play.
Yeah. No, Kid and Play are not in it. It was LeBron James producing it.
Oh, Jesus.
So it was good.
I legit got excited.
Nothing good to
I know, Matt. I like the first one too. I would have been cool with the Lego sequel. You're right, Matt. And Pauly Shore is in there.
I can't believe that you just said Matt is right about something, Tom.
And yet he was still angry when he did it, though. Right?
I know. I'm angry that I had to fucking agree with him. But House Party 2 is better than House Party 1. Remember that. The pajama jam is jamming. No, I'm kidding.
I actually saw them not too long ago.
Really? How they doing?
They actually still do the little dance.
Really?
I love that.
Although they really look like they're in pain when they're doing it.
I didn't know what Play has been up to. I know Kid's been producing all this time. For you guys who may not know, he produced the music for Bill Maher's Real Time.
Oh, I can hear that. I can hear it now. Yeah.
Yeah, only made it big.
So
he's been doing that kind of stuff for the last few years.
So real quick, guys,
they're still out there.
Variety.
What's Chris Cross up to?
They're jumping.
Ain't one of them dead?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, this is the thing that made Variety. This is the thing that made Variety's panties melt.
Twitter was really mad about it too.
Yeah, they went Ray. It didn't take them very long either.
Yeah, no, we were talking about that, Tom. But I this is one of the slides I want Jane to talk about because I'm curious. I'm curious. Do you think Twitter's upset that there's a difference between men and women?
I think that they're upset at the fact that it was recognized that there's a difference between men and women, but also the fact that it was acknowledged that there are men and women, male and female. Like that was a problem. In addition to that, recognizing gender distinctions between the two, that completely sent them over the edge.
I don't know about y'all, but like when I scroll through HBO Max, it certainly does not feel male skew, or at least straight. You know what I mean? Like
I never thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It compared to
HBO technically. HBO technically is. Yeah, it used to be before the woke times, before the Fempire. Like, because if you'll remember back in the day, HBO used to have these things like Real Sex, and they would show like random boobs and everything.
Yeah,
like they just didn't care.
All the stories, though,
and they had a lot of sports. Like HBO generally was more male skewed. They had shows like Sopranos, Deadwood for a reason. Yes, it used to be more male oriented, and this is 100% correct here. I agree with this. And I'm not saying like women can't be into fandoms and women can't be into same stuff that men are. But they're just simply saying is this is the demographic breakdown, right?
Right.
In your primary demographic, in your 35 to 40, or what is it, 45 or 55 culture? I can't remember anymore. Anyway, in that prime demographic, this is your breakdown. And this is how things go.
Yeah.
What does lean back mean?
Lean in means like you get into the show.
Yeah, that's
lean back means you just kind of kick back and binge like 12 episodes of.
I didn't see lean in. I just saw lean back. I was like, lean back. What?
Well, no, it's a description of intensity, right? Because you're engaged, you're leaning into the programming, right? When you're watching one of these like home and garden shows, you're like, oh
yeah, it's just a kick back and watch 12 of them in a row until you pass out, kind of thing. Eating ice cream.
I mean,
men aren't really watching 90 Day Fiance.
Exactly.
And again, within all of these demographics that Tom was talking about, I mean, everybody looks for the prime one, 18 to 35, but that's not where the money's being spent.
Or 18 to 35. That's what it was. I couldn't remember if it was.
Yeah. But the older one that Tom also referred to in his broader one is accurate because until you get to your 50s or mid 50s, you have the majority of your income. You're set. You bought everything you need in your life. You've decided that I'm done buying shit. And then that point in your life, when you're buying something, it's usually something that's a durable good. It's something very expensive. And right now you have no kids with money. So that 18 to 35 demographic shouldn't be weighted the way it used to be, because they don't have any money.
But by the way, culture, they still make new shit that you can buy, right? Just because like you're over 50 doesn't mean like you buy things, man. Come on, enjoy your life.
Well,
you know what? You need to
that's
retire.
the thing is we are like this semi-second generation to actually, because here's the thing I noticed too.
Yeah.
Like my parents' generation are not a part of this, but the generation in between my parents and mine was the first generation to kind of go back to wanting to relive their childhoods, right?
Yeah.
Like that's why we had in the 80s, you had this kind of push for things from the 50s. And then in the 90s, we've seen it come back for the 60s. And then it really started ramping up for the 80s and 90s, in the modern times. And that's kind of where this is the first time I've ever seen this in the history of like quote unquote fandoms or genre entertainment, where we've actually had people go back and say, and you kind of had that with, George Lucas and some of the stuff they did before that, but that wasn't so much of the focal point. Like him making American Graffiti was exactly what I'm talking about. Like you had the first era of nostalgia, right? So that's where the fandom aspect comes in, and men are heavily into that kind of a thing, right?
I also think it's been it's being increased, or that like desire for it is because in comparison, like again, I brought this up earlier with the 90s, comparing the movie each year in movies, like I don't know any modern music that I've heard that is even like, oh, that's a catchy little tune.
Music disappeared, right? Even hip hop has like become not the quality that it used to be.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
It is.
That's the problem is there's only 12 producers in the world, and that's that's the problem.
Yeah. So rewinding, because I don't want to dive down the music conversation.
Yeah, that's a different conversation, but
like 2 hours by itself. It's just we live in a weird time. And look, this is a commentary on like socioeconomic stuff, macroeconomic stuff, and I know that, but we have two generations now that are going to be able to grow up less well off than the previous generations were in the United States. We, for a very long time in the Western world, specifically the United States, you usually did better than your parents. Like across the board, it's a general statement that was actually true, right? But now we have like a generation and a half, if you count the a certain percentage of the millennials and then the latest generation. You can look at them and they are not slated to do better than their parents. They can't, because of all of the situations that have changed geopolitically on a macroeconomic level as well, that is going to prevent them from doing so. And so far that's proven to be true, which is very sad and disappointing. But
and a part of the effect of that whole thing where we finally, like, our generation, or my generation specifically, because you're a little bit older than me, Culture, but my generation specifically, was the first generation where you had the mom and dad working outside the home all the time, full time. And see, prior to that, television was more like this, what we see on this screen here. For over 40 years of television, you had daytime television was generally female skewed because men were at work and women were at the home. And then at night, in the prime time, it would become more family and male skewed, right? And even back in the days of the three networks, that same type of programming ran all the way up through the cable days of the 90s, right? Yeah. You typically had the same kind of shit in the daytime for women, and then in the nighttime you had your sports and your other stuff for men and family entertainment type stuff for the the families. So like all of a sudden they decided to up and change that, and then they sit there and wonder why they lost their fucking entire core base of viewers, right? Not only does everybody have a million fucking options, but at least these guys are smart enough to know we need to get the core audience back. We can be progressive and we can appeal to a smaller demographic for this, that, and the other. But overall, we need to remember that this is our core audience. This is the kind of thing we need to get back to. And I love the presentation they did, because they were even calling out all of Hollywood in a lot of that presentation.
These slides, Tom, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you because I want you to continue talking, but these slides were a comedy routine to Tom and I and a few other observers, because they were paced perfectly. We don't see Hollywood this way. There's no money here, right, Tom?
I love, my favorite one was when that PB guy, who has that great accent, because he's got I'm not going to bullshit financial. You kind of like Brooklyn accent. Yeah. And he's like,
Panette.
The modern thing is they want to go straight to streaming. It's like, we do not believe in this.
Well, you know what it reminds me of? Remember when Disney like went after Lucasfilm and Star Wars? Why did they do that? For the boys. They wanted both the girls. They already had the girls locked down. Now they wanted, like, wasn't that the whole point, right? That was like one of their biggest motivations for it.
And that was one of the conversations that Matt, I'm telling you right now, I loved talking about early on in my channel. I'm like, why did you go after Star Wars if you didn't want the boys? And why are you turning Star Wars into a girls' property? First of all, you're saying girls weren't interested in Star Wars, which is bullshit. Jane, proof of the pudding.
Well, I was saying that earlier. Yeah, I'm not trying to generalize, but yes, I hope Jane likes pudding.
No, that's
not.
Oh man, now I want a snack pack.
Oh
no, but I just want to say is, look at like, and this is what I'm talking about, how HBO changed, for instance. Some people may sit there and figure, oh, boxing isn't a thing anymore because of all the, the changes in the ideas and how, people view sports now. You know what killed boxing was HBO. It's that they didn't carry it as much anymore. That's what killed it. It had nothing to do with any regulations. It had nothing to do with any groups. It had nothing to do with anything of the nature. It had everything to do with all the money that they were making in the boxing industry. A good portion of it was because HBO would carry all those boxing matches all the time.
Right. I mean, he did a great job.
But Showtime did. Well, I think with boxing
and Showtime, but they both stepped away from that kind of stuff because it's seen as barbaric and all that kind of crap, and they're trying to skew towards this.
Dazen and all those open for the market.
Yeah. With boxing though, like boxing died because of not only just the impossibility of getting good matches, but also you have so many different belts. You have the WEC.
They'd already joined those, right? For the most part.
No, they're all separate. That's the problem.
They're all separate.
There's no unified.
They had unified a lot of those belts under previous champs. Think about how many belts Tyson held at one time.
Right, but then what?
Fury or Mike?
Well, Mad's not wrong, but I feel like it's a snake eating its own tail at this point. That's my point, Mad, is you can't get another Mike Tyson. You can't get another one of these guys, Evander Holyfield, one of these big name guys, because HBO's not carrying these matches, so you don't see them. These kids are still out there fighting. And yeah, UFC and MMA has kind of hurt it too, to a point, Soul Assassin, you're not wrong there. But the big thing was, boxing was seen as a big prestigious thing, and these matches were a big fucking deal.
And
once in a while, they still do good.
What do you think about the YouTubers taking over that? Because Jake Paul and the other one are
it's just a side.
The guy was.
I'm gonna say that's always been kind of thing. They used to have like boxing with the stars and shit like that all the time. Celebrity boxing. Yeah,
Tanya Harding in there. Yeah, that was great.
You know what? Celebrity Deathmatch is still my favorite show. I miss that. I really do.
Let's get it on.
By the way, there's still great boxers out there. I know Grant and I we watched different events and stuff. Vasily Lomachenko.
Yeah, the Lemonhead dude.
He's back from Ukraine. He's back training.
So's Usyk.
Well, and women should be demanding their entertainment being taken back, so much from the gay guys, right? Like, let's be real. Like, a lot of their entertainment has been taken over by drag queens and gay guys.
Well, it's because men do everything better.
It's part of this. It's part of this overall agenda, though. It's not like there's not a purpose behind what they're doing. So they're taking entertainment away from men, right? But they're also taking away from women.
And that's
trying to reshape our perspective as a society on men and women. Like that's what it's all about.
And that's why I wanted to bring it up. It's not just the men, exactly, Jane. It's the women's side of things too, and children. Like, we don't even need to get into that. Like, look at the Buzz Lightyear situation, just to give you a prime example of where they're trying to go with the children and the family thing. But yeah,
they destroyed.
Remember when they used to have women like Mr. Clean commercials? And they were geared towards women, or laundry detergent commercials, and they were geared towards women. You shouldn't apologize for that. Somebody's got to do it, right?
Oh yeah, because I'm not doing it. Or
it's just about knowing your audience, right, or knowing who you're selling your product to.
In the private chat,
that's what I'm saying.
This is an old commercial for Sega that was. I mean, it might have been targeting women. I'm not too sure, but have a look. And this was an old Sega commercial.
Well, I'm sure a lot of women saw this and said that, yeah, I could look like that if I played Sega.
Exactly.
But I mean,
I don't know if you could even get away with showing that.
I don't understand that a lot of the marketing for boys does sometimes appeal to girls too. Like, it's not I don't know.
But that's the thing. They need to understand, to embrace that part of it, right? That's the thing. They need to understand to embrace that part of it, right? That's the problem is that girl who may necessarily be into that boy's thing, they're embracing it for whatever reason it is because they like said thing, not because they want it changed to be more pink.
Exactly. Or they're watching it because they like to see a boy being a boy.
Exactly.
Hey, ladies. Enjoying the film? Of course not. Because this is our movie! And Dr. Pepper 10 is our soda. It's only 10 manly calories, but with all 23 flavors of Dr. Pepper. It's what guys want. Like
no
this.
guy would drink that.
No.
This is the wrong
so you can keep the romantic
advertising
comedies
model.
and lady drinks.
But I applaud them for doing it.
Dr. Pepper 10, it's not for women.
It's not for me either. But that's not the point.
No, but I
That
gotta
didn't
give
last
him. Yeah, I gotta give him credit for it though.
No,
And it wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't.
2011. Yeah.
Yeah, and I look at it and I'm like, okay, at least we had an understanding that there's a difference. There's stuff for ladies, there's stuff for dudes, right? And the problem is that in Star Wars, you have handsome dudes, so you're gonna attract ladies.
Well, and the same thing. Sorry, Coulter, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we have, and it has everything the dudes like. So it's like this is a property that appeals to everybody, and you're trying to like make it more myopic instead of hitting all four.
Don't use big words at me.
But those are the things they don't like. They don't like that the boys
differentiality,
are honorable and heroic and all of that, and they don't like that boys like the girls who are in it because they're beautiful, and they don't like that the girls like that the boys are handsome. They don't like it.
True.
They don't want to promote that
Because they don't like themselves. That's all this is going down to.
It's the same kind of thing with like
projection, Matt. You're right. Go ahead, Tom.
Let's just say it's the same thing with like, bronies, right? They like it because of what it is. It's the same thing I've heard from my friends who happen to be in the trans community who aren't completely fucking insane. They said they're basically taking away the gender ideals that we're aspiring to be.
Yeah.
It's in the fucking song. Like one of them said, it's in the fucking song. I'm like, what do you mean? Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's like, I remember Fay Ray. I wanted to be just like her. That's the whole fucking point. If you take that away, then you're stuck with a bunch of non-binary kids just not knowing what to put their dicks or put in their holes. That's the problem.
That's what they want, though. They want a society of a bunch of blob people
androgynous,
who have no gender.
Well, they want whatever helps. Well, they want whatever helps them in whatever situation they find themselves in. That's why you have people that claim to be a non-binary woman. That's insane.
That doesn't make sense. It's an oxymoron. Yeah.
And by the way, this person has a full beard that says this, right? Like you're like, what's happening? Like this is true. But like, and by the way, and they're yelling at
straight lesbian as well.
Well, they're yelling at white women for being,
look, I
upset
worked in a
with
video
penises in
store.
their
I'm
locker
going to tell
room.
you, there is a group of men who love chicks with dicks.
Oh yeah.
Tom, you're supposed to tell everyone about our club. What are you doing?
No, I'm just telling you, man. And these were the guys that were always there on first thing on Monday morning when they knew the pornos would show up, and they would get the most pissed when you weren't catering to them.
But here's what's really weird is that they're attacking women now, just like they used to attack men for being quote unquote toxic.
Exactly.
They're now attacking women. We're the TERFs.
You're a TERF
now.
Yep. You're a TERF. Yep.
Toxic and TERFs united.
Is there such thing as a TERF? Do you have to be a radical feminist? If you can't just be a trans exclusionary feminist, or do you have to be radical?
Well, yeah, because it's all like fourth wave, right? They're all radical, whether they're surf or turf.
And then you have that freak, whatever that is, with the blonde hair who looks like with the health inspector general, whatever it is.
Levine.
When you see like things like that going on, you have to be careful, guys, what you eat, what you drink, because these people, they really believe in this. They really believe in transforming society. So it's like we have to be careful about all of this stuff, man. What we inject into us, you never know. There's a lot of control devices that they're using right now to bring about the change that they want to see in this world.
Yeah.
But real quick, surf is a real term. I didn't just make that up. It's sex workers exclusionary.
Is it really?
Radical feminism. Yeah.
I was going to say you actually earned for that. I mean, that was pretty
well,
fucking
no,
funny.
because somebody in chat be like, you're actually mad. That's already a thing. But so, yeah. It is.
That was still then it makes it doubly funny,
look,
man.
And these are the kinds of ladies that are working over at Disney right now. These are the kinds of ladies that are working over at Disney right now that are part of this reimagined.
She's hot.
Yeah.
Is this really her?
This isn't the one I was talking about.
What is that?
This is a person at Disney, and they identify as not what you would expect. And this is the kind of stuff in society that, you know, I'm not making fun of this person. Just, I want to be clear. What I'm saying is, you know, that makes you question where we're headed, because it isn't any place that is society. It's not society. It's just tearing down society. It's tearing down Western society specifically.
The foundations of human society, because this is the groundwork from which we came and how we survived for so many years.
Yeah,
they think we're overpopulated. So I think part of it is all wrapped up into that.
You're 100% right, which is why they are going over the, you know, the Wade decision, right? Roe v. Wade.
And that's why we think you should skip pray.
I think you should pray every day.
I mean, that's where we started, right? Like, I don't know how we got here.
No, I think you should pray every day. But we have come up
pray away.
We have come up on 2 hours. 2 hours. So I feel like we should wrap it, because Scott wasn't here. This was probably the best stream we've ever had on this channel, with probably the most informed and attractive panel we've ever had. You know, except for the balds. There's too many balds on this channel right now. And then anyway, so let's do outros. We will start with the most amazing human on the planet.
Well, thank you.
Okay,
it's the most incredible voice you could ever possibly imagine. And
are you talking about the third person again?
I've actually seen this young lady. She is incredibly hot, Jane Theory. And I'm not doing that because I'm trying to sexualize you, Jane, at all.
Yes, he is.
I'm not objectifying.
He's objectifying you in front of our eyes.
I didn't even think it was a thing until you're like, I'm not trying to sexualize. I'm like, oh, is he? Like, it wasn't even a thought until you said it.
Rolling laughing in the other room right now. I'm telling you. I just heard her. She's losing her mind. Go ahead, young lady.
Oh my God. Hey, you can find me here on YouTube, where I post movie and television reviews and occasionally some pop culture commentary. You can also find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Jane Theory. Yay.
You are amazing. Speaking of also amazing, we have the tallest, if not the probably the greatest. I don't know. He's the greatest specimen we've had on this panel today, as far as the male side of the equation. He rocks. Look at how well cared for, manicured that beard is, right? And not only that, he has weekend plans. He's telling you all about on his T-shirt. It's Mark with a C. Who he knows what it's about.
Yes. You know, I don't do this very well because I don't really have much going on. All I ever say is come by the channel. It's always something provocative that I'm talking about. You know, always trying to make people communicate, think. I end up getting told off a lot. That's always fun to see. And once a week, I come together and do the Dark Council. You know, when I'm not doing this here on Saturdays, I do a Dark Council on every Wednesday. You know, with John 3PO, Damajanai, Lord Callus, Fatal J, the President Abu Nas. You know, it's great. You know, so we always have a great time. So come on by the channel, though. The channel is on. It's popping. It's everything that you want it to be, hopefully. But thanks, guys.
And Mark is awesome and very humble, which is frustrating. He's everything I want to be in life. But of course, we have this.
You can't paint your face black. We've already told you this.
I'm not going to do that. You know.
Oh, me? Oh, hey. Yeah. Look, I got a few projects in the pipe cooking
that
up.
That sounded bad. Do you need lube for that? What's happening there?
Do you not know how to smoke out of a pipe? What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking, you know.
No, pipes go in.
In what?
Well, I guess, I mean, docking.
Where
so.
are they?
Yeah, so we have Street Smots every Wednesday and Saturday. Saturdays, we're doing a new thing called Street Smots Matinee. And we did it today, and we watched just one of the most bananas movies we've ever seen.
Sorry, I didn't
was
make
so
it, man.
good. Dude, you missed a great one.
But wait, but there weren't actually bananas in it at all.
No, not one banana. Nope.
But
Anyway,
since Yeti picked it, it's great. I see.
no, trust me. That I wanted him to fail. Yeah.
He was really close. I mean, you cannot get closer to being fired than he did today.
By the way, and for whatever reason, Lily of the Fox Valley is right. For some reason, girls love street smarts and we hate it. We're supposed to be a boys club. But no, I did a Lord of the Rings soap opera thing before anybody else did, and I actually put in effort.
You did.
I didn't just take the audio and add it to it. Anyway,
No, we
so
didn't show that on the stream.
Cool.
How come we didn't show that on the
It's
stream?
no big deal.
Didn't I even share it?
No,
Nobody
you
even shared it. No.
I thought
Anyway,
I shared it.
No.
Didn't you send it to me?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I shared it.
Not here.
So anyway, yeah, I'm working on that. I'm working on the new thing.
I shared it. Here's the proof right
Oh,
here,
God.
motherfucker.
You didn't share it at a good time for me.
I shared it, even though everybody else is trying to make this joke. Now, I will, for the one time in my life, give Mad the proof and evidence that he did something before everybody else did.
Can you do it more bigger?
No.
Well, that sucks because
I don't need to compensate for anything like you do.
I'm big in this.
Yeah.
I just
anyway,
did.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
You want to see the actual video? Are we playing the video?
No, let him go watch it on the.
Oh,
Go watch it on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
You can't watch it.
Yeah.
It's on,
Anyway.
on MBE Entertainment.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mad Barber.
It's like DC Comics.
It's Mad Barber together one word, and then entertainment a second word.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure Soul Assassin, my Chatamo can drop the. So yeah, no, we're doing a new thing. I'm doing a new thing with this really cuckoo banana reality show called Kids Nation.
Shh.
What?
We weren't telling anybody yet.
What? I'm excited. Anyway, so that's gonna be coming out soon. I'm gonna do a couple different things with it, and then Culture is trying to talk us into watching F-Boy Island for some reason.
We're gonna watch F-Boy
I just
Island.
saw
on
a
the show.
commercial for that. Does that stand for what I think it stands for?
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
it doesn't look good. We're trying to get him to change his mind.
Well, no, we are
He
doing
sunk
this.
that low.
We are doing this.
Culture's
It's
just
not
upset
on
he
my
didn't get
channel.
accepted on the show.
It's not on my channel, dude. We are going after the wine moms now over on Mad Barber Entertainment. I promise you, it's going to be a good time.
Wow.
Who's
Yeah,
calling
that's
us leftist, Jane?
What? Who's the left?
No, there was a conversation about the commercials and a lot of the leftist messaging.
Oh,
And it was mentioned that you see a lot of interracial couples and stuff like that. But my point is
yeah.
that's always been
That's
a
not a
thing.
left or
It
right
just
thing.
hasn't always been public. But there wouldn't be African Americans if there wasn't mixed relationships.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's not new.
no, and it
Not
didn't
new
seem
throughout
like
the entirety
television
of
and
humanity, but it's definitely not new in the United States.
no, and what's funny about it is it seems like television and movies up through the late 90s and into the early 2000s didn't seem to have a problem with a lot of that stuff, and then all of a sudden they did when they tried to act like they were trying to incorporate it. It's like it's already been there.
It's already been done. You've
I
been
think
doing
it's
it for
just catching
decades.
up as far as
Yeah.
that's concerned. The gender stuff is new, but
Yeah,
the
that's
interracial
new.
stuff is
Well,
not.
okay.
Yeah,
and
interracial is definitely not. No,
it's bananas. All
I've
right.
been
where
watching
did we-
interracial videos since I was
Wait,
young.
I have seen In the Heat of the Night.
Oh.
Oh hell yeah, man!
Let me tell you right now, that was the most bonkers Bruce Willis and whoever that was.
No,
in that
you're thinking of a
film.
totally different movie, and that has nothing to do with the conversation.
Yeah. Wait, what were you talking about? Boomerang?
He's talking about that fucking movie, The Color of Night.
Oh,
It was one
that's-
of Bruce
oh,
Willis's
yeah.
worst movies, and he shows his dong in it.
it
Oh,
is
Color
not-
Night.
That is actually the most uncomfortable film you can see with Bruce Willis in it.
That's not the one with the horse face lady and they're on a boat. He's a boat cop, right? Oh, that's striking.
No,
Distance.
that's,
Horse
uh,
face lady.
Yeah, that would
That
be
was, is that
what's her
striking
face,
distance?
Mrs.
we were
Matthew
doing
Broderick.
outros. Stop.
Jessica
Anyway,
what?
you can
Sarah
find
Jessica
me.
Parker.
By the way,
Ferris Bueller's,
last
wife.
thing, Culture, I promise. That was the closest he's ever been to being attractive. Was in striking distance. This is a compliment.
Yeah, she got beat up in that. It was
Oh,
I
go
agree.
see,
I
go
agree.
see Mad wherever he's at. Look, we got to get to Tom. Tom's up. Tom.
Well, and I also meant not just the movie In the Heat of the Night. I was talking also about the series, but yes. No, there was a lot of interracial stuff in there from time to time. And that was late 80s.
Yeah.
You know where I'm at? I'm on places on the internet, usually fucking with SJWs.
Oh wow,
But
I've not seen that channel yet.
no, I was just doing it on Twitter while you guys were talking.
Oh, okay.
But this kid who's possibly my son, because I did do a lot of regretful things when I was younger. He's starting to come around and grow a sense of humor, so I'm proud of my probable son. But
Perhaps
no.
Your probable son?
I don't know. It could be. I made a lot of mistakes, man.
That's similar to a prodigal son, right?
That's the whole joke.
Wow,
culture. Jesus fucking
Thanks
Christ.
for explaining it. When you
That's what I
explain the
do.
comedy, it's funny.
But that's what I do.
Oh,
The same thing with better.
Just
than
take me
Ezra.
off the fucking screen now.
I'm the straight man. Well, speaking of the straight man, Grant.
Hello. Yeah, so you can catch me on all the things that I'm on, which will be different stuff. I'll be editing left, right, and center. But I also just want to take a quick second to thank John Leguizamo for retiring from acting after having a hissy fit that James Franco is playing Fidel Castro. The entertainment industry will be much better for it. So thank you, John Leguizamo.
Somebody literally took Tom off the stream. What the hell? All right.
Wow. You are so much trouble. I am calling the boss.
It wasn't me.
Lies.
You know, Grant, the thing real quick about that whole Leguizamo thing is that he played Italian in Summer of Sam.
This is true. And he played Italian in
Mario
Brothers.
Brothers.
Yeah, like I forgot about Summer of Sam. Like I thought everybody's.
What the hell is he going on about?
He also played a white man in the movie.
Hey, just so you know, Norway's cold. Yeah.
John Leguizamo is one of the last fucking people who has any room to talk about any of that shit.
Johnny Legs, look,
He wasn't even a demon when he was in Spawn. So how can he even say
he's not even a real drag queen either. Well, that's questionable, but
2-1 Foo, and thanks for all the fish.
No, thanks for everything.
Julie Newmar.
No, that's what I said. All right.
I like that movie.
Bye, everyone.
Jane Duty Dance. Vance?
Do I get to say anything ever?
Trying to get Jane to dance?
No, Jane Booty Band. Well, damn it! Now I can't even say it. What's her name? Hold on, I gotta do my thing. Red leather, yellow leather, Heath ledger.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Dang. All right, I'm Culture Casino. This is me. I have a YouTube channel. I have a Rumble channel. I have an Odyssey channel. I'm on the Tweeterbird thingy. I have a Minds. I have a Getter. I might have a Parlor. Still, I don't know.
You say you're on everything.
What the fuck are you talking about? Well, and that's me. We have an incredible Sunday show coming up over on my channel.
Oh my God, the cock!
Sunday Culture Review, and then after that, late at night, I have something called Late Night Culture, which because that's how creative I am. I just put my name in stuff and it works. And Tom's there a lot because he's my hetero life mate, and other people show up, and that's fun. And everybody that is on this panel could show up there at one point in time if they're awake. But somewhere in between, I get to hang out with the amazing and just incredible Lorena Creole, who has a wonderful channel. It's called the Welcome to Florida stream. And we talk about the craziest state in the 48 continentals. And it is bonkers. So do check that out as well. And on that note, guys, we really do appreciate you being here. This was probably the best episode of Scott's show that's ever happened.
Well, since Wednesday. Also, Culture, don't forget, next Saturday is your evaluation day.
Oh, no.
I didn't know if you wanted to tell people.
Sure, yeah, we are going to be watching the film classic. I'm not going to spoil it. This is a classic film I think you will all enjoy. It's in the public domain, which means it won't get claimed. And I can't tell you how.
Claimed in the intro. What do you give a shit?
Well, my part won't get claimed, which means it's going to give me more points in my evaluation.
I'm going to have a backup, Chad. Don't worry.
So tell me, Matt, did RLM just have the guy on who claims that he owns Street Smarts from you guys?
RLM had him on. What's his name? Bend Over, right?
Yeah,
like something like that. Yeah,
that's his
something
name.
like that. Yeah, it's Ben. That's his name.
Yeah,
I think that's who it was. Yeah, he's like a cop. He did like a series of videos called Street Smarts, and he's like a Chicago cop. Yeah.
No, Bend Over. No, that he works for the WB. He's a snitch. No, the Street Smarts guy.
You're thinking of Phil McCracken.
Yeah, you're thinking of John Mulaney has a bit on the guy from Chicago.
Yeah, he does. And I'm trying to think. Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought that's who was probably going to go after you for.
No, mine was a game show that came on at like 2 a.m. when you're just home from the bar puking.
You can't trademark a name, a copyright claim a name like that. No.
By the way, I just want to say I had a great time. I want to say thank you to all of you. And There's
Me too, and I really enjoy your name.
I'm going to hit the exit button, and everybody have a great night.
It is a reminder. I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here.
How dare you? This is our year.
Having said that, I want me some glory hole.
I don't think that was the right button. There's got to be another button. Is it this one?
So, hey everybody, welcome to this dump. What a gay name. It wishes it was gay, actually.
Oh yeah, we haven't played any clips, have we?
Somebody help me! I think I have the monkey flu. Check it out.
Okay, somebody hit the right button. I'm trying back here. Grant, hit the button.
I don't think that's the right button.
This sucks. What about this one?
New?
No, wait, this is the right one.
I don't like this one. Who did this? I don't like this.
What the hell is this?
Count credits.
Who did this? You should be ashamed.
Yep. This feels like culture. You know what I mean? Like flavorless.